The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice tray, go for tray, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice tray, go for tray, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. This is the second annual I'm Not Gonna Hold You holiday special, man. Of course, I am your host, Scott Lewis, man. You can follow me on all social media platforms at Barber Chair Scott. You can follow the Barbers Chat Network at Barbers Chat Net on all social media platforms. Subscribe to the Patreon, man, patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network, man. If you are watching this on YouTube, you can take your phone right up to the screen. It will take you right up to the QR code, which you have the 4 different tiers, man. We've got the $10 holla, man, which is Barbershop Access tier. That will take you right to getting 25% off your first order on the Barbers Chair Shop. That is bcnetshop.com, man. And also follow H&B Media and that H&B Media TV on Twitter, man. Got a packed show for y'all today. We got a nice amount of guests coming on today. As you can see right on the screen here, man, we've got Jason Goff joining us today. We got Shakeia Taylor. We've got Chuck English. We got my guy Blk Tray, Travonne Edwards, and of course our man Larry's Legend joining us today as we're gonna recap everything that's going on last week in sports and just everything going on in sports in 2024 in general, man. But today we've got my guy Dante here, man. Dante, what's going on, brother?
Hey, I'm solid, bro. What's the word? It's feeling like the old days right now.
The old days of the show, 100%. If you're wondering where everybody else is, there's like a lot of niggas got sick today. Bang, his voice is shot. Courtney has some things she got to do. Mikey had a situation he had to tend to. We was going to have a homie Toastin fill in, then he got sick. You know what I'm saying? So there's been a whole bunch of stuff going on. So me and Dante are here holding it down for y'all. But what you got planned for the holidays, man?
I'm chilling, bro. As usual, I will be out here in Atlanta. I got to work. So one thing I will say, I was gonna save it for the end of the show, but you asked me now. Hey, just make sure you check on your people during the holiday season. A lot of people away from home can't go see their family, so just check on your folks. I'm used to it at this point. I'm good. You ain't gotta worry about me. But if you got any people out there, that you won't be seeing, just make sure they are. Right. So that's what I'll be doing. My cousin lives out here, so I'll be kicking it with her and FaceTiming the family. But other than that, bro, I'll be chilling, watching these football games.
Yeah, watching football. I do not care about the basketball that will be getting played on.
Yeah, it's sad. It's crazy. How times change, my nigga. Like, that's crazy.
The times have changed. I used to really look forward to the NBA because the NFL never had that day. And even the couple times that you have the NFL, play games, it would be like because it was on a Sunday or maybe they had like a Saturday game. But now these niggas fully took the block. You got a couple games on this upcoming Saturday we're getting to, and of course you got the Christmas games, which I didn't really pay attention. It's the same 4 teams, just swapped. So Saturday you got Chiefs Texans, and then you got Steelers Ravens. But now on Christmas it's Chiefs Steelers, and then you got Ravens Texans, which I didn't even pay attention to on there, man. But we usually have like a family brunch that we've been having literally since like
that's dope.
The 90s, like since I was fucking 3 years old, I'm guessing. It's been a long time, man. So yeah, man, that's what I'll be doing. I'm gonna have to take like a little mini break for like the next 2 weeks. And I say mini, I still got 3 terrible games to cover. I mean, we got this game against Detroit coming up, and then we also got hold on. We also got who was it? They got Seattle and
Green Bay.
Exactly. So Goff will be on in just 1 minute. Hold on. I gotta resend the link. So we just gonna have him on in 1 second. But yeah, man, that's what I'll be doing, man. Did you have like is there like any traditions that you personally do, or is it no, it's just regular type thing?
It's just regular. Usually back at the crib, my family gets together at either my crib or my aunt crib, and so like they'll exchange gifts, do the whole white elephant thing and whatnot. But it's really more so just about kicking it, eating, and that's something we've done. Like I said, like you said, since we were shorties. My grandmother passed away a couple years ago, but we've just continued the tradition, and that's something that's actually, like I said, the fact that I'm in Atlanta is one of the things I actually do miss. I don't get homesick often. But it's dope the fact that they still do it, every year, and they continue to do it.
Yeah, I think that something with traditions. I think for me personally, it's kind of been to the point where it's like, I think my folks tell me, when you have kids, and it'll feel better again. Because right now I'm just like, let's just get the shit over with. Let's just get and and do all of that, man. So yeah, Jason Goff will be joins in just 1 second, man. So. Apologize for the delay. We got a lot of people on here, so we're gonna be on that. But just quickly as we wait for him to come on, man, I guess we kind of gotta talk about the beloved. I just want to say this as we wait for Goff to join us is I want nothing to do with Mike Vrabel. I'm sorry, and we'll get into full detail later. But I understand Mike Vrabel's a good coach, but I do believe we giving him a lot of love just because he did a lot with trash, like. Because he had Ryan Tannehill, they beat him and they beat Tom Brady in the playoff game. It's all good. He finished 8-24 in his last 6-24 in his last 30 games. I don't want to hear about the hard hat, lunch pail, leader of men type crap. I'm personally tired of it. Like I want to see an offensive mind. That's exactly what I want to see, and somebody who can help Caleb from himself, I guess. You know what I'm saying?
No, I feel you. I think it's one of those things where like people shoot him a lot of bail because him and the GM weren't on good terms. The GM traded AJ Brown. There's a lot of moves they made that Mike Vrabel didn't agree with, and so I think that's also why it's been so crucial with whoever we get to be head coach. A lot of people have talked about making sure the head coach and the GM are on the same page because if there's a disconnect there, that just leads to more issues with your roster. So I'm damn near anti everybody green. Not everybody. Everybody New England. Like I know Belichick is great, but like it's not too many people that have come off that tree and been successful. So it's like it's not like they have a track record of building teams. So I could see why you are hesitant on Vrabel. I'm still like I would give it a shot. But
I mean, I put like if they hire him, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is terrible. Yeah. But he's like 4th on my list right now. I just feel like let's just say best case scenario, he worked, and the offensive coordinator he hired is so good with Caleb that he goes to another team. Now we got to start over again. So, like, that's the problem I have, too. I want whoever is here for the long term with Caleb.
Yeah, and I think that's why you would have to get, if you do go for someone who's the leader of men and he's not necessarily an offensive mind, you have to get a young offensive coordinator that's trying to, like, continue to establish themselves. Because, like, when Dan Quinn was in Atlanta, he had Kyle Shanahan, and Matt LaFleur was a QB coach, but Kyle Shanahan, was fresh off of Washington and really still trying to make a name for himself. And so he was here for a couple years, was the hot coordinator, and then bounced and got his head coaching job. So I'm with you. Now, do you want to bank on Vrabel hiring the right offensive coordinator? Because that's like you said, that's a whole nother
and that's
ballgame.
an issue too, because like the Bears already have a hard time getting one coach hired right. Now we gotta make sure they get a whole staff right. It's just too much for me personally, and I hate when Bears fans get so excited about the culture. You have somebody yell at you. Forget all yelling. Like, can we put up points and win football games? Like, you can put up points. Like, Matt LaFleur ain't I heard he's an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that I would like to see, man. So, but we've got our guest about to come on here right now, man. So we're gonna bring him in, man. This is a friend of the program, man. The one and only Jason Goff. If you guys are living under a rock and you don't know this guy, I don't know what to tell you. He is pre and post game host of Chicago Bulls for Chicago Sports Network, and he also the host of the Full Go podcast on the Ringer Network, man. Jason, how you feeling, brother?
Scott Tay, what's going on, man? How you feeling? How y'all doing, man? Happy
I'm doing great.
To you and the crew. I see the hat. I see what you're doing.
Feeling real festive up in here.
Hey, I can't lie. You look like it.
Thank you for the shout out on the pod, man. Definitely appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that, brother. But
always love, bro.
Definitely, man. We were just talking about the Bears coaching search, which I don't know about you. I cannot wait for the season to be over. Like this went from being the most anticipated season to, for the love of God, wrap this up. What's your thoughts, man, on this? I know you said stuff on the pod, but like, what's your feeling? Because last time we had you on here, we were talking about the hype coming into the training camp and how we should manage those expectations, and now we like, same shit. How you feeling?
Yeah, it's easy to be jaded as a Bears fan, right? And I don't like being around there. Oh, it's gonna suck because it has to suck because we always suck. Yeah, I don't like being around that energy or validating that kind of energy. But when it's true, it's true. And after a while, I said this about Mitch, said this about Justin. Hopefully not say this about Caleb, but these quarterbacks don't ruin themselves. And this organization has been stuck and getting in its own way for a long time, and when you got big box stores running around out here, it's kind of hard to be the mom and pop shop. And I think that's how they've kind of gone about things to their detriment. And now you look at another cycle where you've got a front office and a coaching staff and a president who all are on different clocks contract wise. Hopefully it doesn't happen the same way, but it's been going on for generations now. The good seasons have become the outliers, right? Instead of it being the norm. So, I wish the best for everybody involved, but until I see otherwise, we in a results-driven industry, and when you don't see the results, you have to speak on it like you guys have, and like everybody has up until this point.
Exactly. Go ahead, Dante.
Yeah, definitely. But like you said, it's been
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on, dog?
Man,
don't let Scott make this a super formal conversation. Every time I'm on with y'all act like I don't see you. I don't listen to the pod. Y'all make this shit seem like it's an interview. Don't let Scott keep cracking his whip and making y'all act different around me. I get off the pod and motherfuckers have a ball. If people talking shit, you got things flying this way, and now all of a sudden. Tay, go ahead. You got a question for the guests, don't you, man? Fuck all that, man. What you want to talk about, Tay? What's up, brother?
Man, bro, I it's appropriate you got on all black as well, because that's that's been the vibes all season, bro. Unfortunately, it's been fucked up. Like, I think this is one of the craziest 180s I've seen from the fan base in a long time. Like, because it wasn't even like a roller coaster ride. It was like from the Hail Mary to now, it's been just all downhill. Like,
bro, tell them what it was like when we was in London, bro. Tell them what it was like when
y'all did make the trip.
Bro, we were in London. When I tell you, me and Scott, we went out for drinks after the game, and we see Bear fans in the bar with us. So we talking to them. We talking about Germany next year. Caleb look good. This is what we expected. Here we go. We about to go on a run.
Good times.
Talking shit about the Patriots. Oh yeah, we gonna smack them when we get back, and this, that, and the third. And man, bro,
shit got real. Shit got real.
It got real. But one thing, even with the good shit, one thing that's been consistent is like Caleb has gotten a lot of hate. There's been a lot of people that it seems like they've been hell bent on hating him since he was drafted by
For
the
sure.
Chicago Bears,
For
even if not before that. What have you seen with that this season? And do you see the potential for it to change going forward?
Yo, you know what it is, and I'll be honest with you. I truly, and I wasn't lying on the pod when I said it. Like I've kind of removed myself from a lot of the conversations that happen outside of like, you guys and the bigs and some other pods that I listen to nationally and locally. So I'm kind of removed from that echo chamber. So when I hear you say people have been going in on Caleb, I gotta be honest with you, I don't hear it because
So
one,
you're
I
lucky.
don't. Yeah, right, exactly. Like you guys, you deal with it on a different level. Like y'all touching the street, y'all on the ground, y'all go to the practices. I watch the games, hit people up that I know are in the organization or organizations around them that I know will tell me the truth. I don't. The Caleb thing, you know what it is? And I tried to get at everybody that listens to me on my pod, try to warn them. We all been around a dude who ain't really ever had nothing bad in his life.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden he get down and then you figure out, oh, okay, is he gonna handle this well or not? And all the things he never had to do for the bad ones, the ones that he didn't have that were bad, now you got to do something different for one that he thinks is bad. This city has been this city has been stepping on its own sail to crushing its own sail, to use a Tommy Boy reference, for a very long time. You fall in love, you say this is going to be the guy, this is going to be the guy, and then since we haven't gone through the exercise of actually watching someone become the guy because of either their lackluster situation or the developmental impediments that they have as an organization, you never really see it come to fruition. So we never seen a good relationship with a quarterback, and never. Even when Jim McMahon was the guy, Jim McMahon wasn't a great quarterback, right? But he
At
did what
all.
he had to do on
Yeah.
a team that was stocked and a team that was built in a different way in the 80s. We've never seen and never had to go through the growing pains of having a great quarterback or having a quarterback even be thought of as great. Like this is the first one. This is the first one.
Yeah.
Because Justin Fields was the first one in my generation that you drafted and go, okay, this is going to be the dude that you developed that I was like excited about, right? It's a brother. It's a dude who's done it on a big stage, a couple of different big schools in Georgia, and then transferring to Ohio State, did it in the Big Ten, did it against Alabama. Like he did it on some big stages. So you're like, okay, this is the first time that you're going through a little courting phase. You get to watch them stumble. You get to watch them get used to the professional life. And that thing got turned upside down the moment Matt Nagy wanted to play Andy Dalton because he knew he needed to win some games, right? So now we
Yeah.
come into this one, and immediately you get the people like there's a generational clash where it's like old school Bear fans who've never seen, let's face it, never seen a quarterback have a sense of their own style or
Yeah.
how they do things, and the dudes who always decry the younger generation. You had a bunch of those people who had already been taken, I won't say taken to task, but those people had already been tested in terms of what they should and could believe in and have always come up that you shouldn't believe in this because of the results. Now you throw that up against a guy who's from this new generation who doesn't do things the way that you would like him to do. And on top of it, the nation is watching you every step of the way. So it's been a weird, from my vantage point, a weird relationship. You can't tell me that Caleb Williams isn't good at football,
Right.
but there are going to be some things where you go through the growing pains, right? You're gonna have to figure out what he can't do. And during that process, you're gonna have to not panic. Like
Yeah.
this whole year for me, and they won that first game against the Titans. You had people walking away from Soldier Field talking about 13-4, 12-5. I'm like, hey, slow that shit down, right? Like let's act like we've been around a bad one before too,
Yeah.
right? Like even if you never had one, let's act like you know how to pull out
Act
a
like you've
chair.
been there. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh no, that
And
was
Bears
me. That
fans,
was me. That was
yeah,
me.
and Bears,
I
and
was not. I have not been here before. I was
yeah,
ready to put my wallet on the table. Take what you
let's
need.
kick it,
It's all
right?
yours. Let's
Hey,
kick it. Let's do our
everything.
thing.
Speaking of speaking of wallet, Dante did have a nice night that last night in London.
Hey man, let
Hey,
me tell you,
man,
London will catch you up. London will do.
London is a beautiful place, man.
London is
Hey,
an amazing place. I had a great time out there. I like the football team ain't gonna make me not have a good time out here. But yeah, I wish I didn't have to see the Caleb stuff, and I try to not look at it. It always gets retweeted into my timeline. It's never the people I follow. It's always people they retweet or Explore page is the worst, or the For You page. You know, you might wake up one morning
the devil.
and you see something 9 hours ago, and it's like, okay, now I gotta see this. So it's just too much. And you know, I'm with you. Like, you can't watch what he's been doing to say that the boy can't play. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
It's there stuff that he's got to work on 100%. But and I understand the bars in hell. He's having one of the best statistical years for Bears quarterbacks. I feel like we got to keep that a little bit in there too. And I got a question for you that's also non-sports that I think you're gonna like. But
let's do
it. Just quickly, one last thing on the Bears. Just what are you putting the percentage chance that in about 2.5 weeks that Ryan Poles is looking on LinkedIn for a new job? Well, where are you putting that percentage at?
Hey, it's a lot higher than it was going into this season. I know that for sure. That man got sat there. You just the attire alone. When you sitting at a press conference and you got the quarter zip like you Mike Wilbon, and he's sitting over here in a $4,000 or $5,000 suit, big old fish head tie. Like it looked like a stunning. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be real. Like I said, I don't hear what gets said outside of my little silo of people that I listen to. But I know Kevin Warren has caught a lot of hell. I know he's caught a lot of flack, not just because of the stadium issue, but because people think he's trying to be the face of the Bears and usurp people's authority. But I gotta be honest with you, man. Like when you come to a place that ain't one shit, if your head is next on the chopping block, you damn right you're gonna start to move some things around to your liking. I think I'd be surprised if Ryan Poles is fired at the end of this season, but if there's a level between shock and surprise, I might be in that middle part right there because it said a lot. It said a lot when you're sitting there watching it. It sounds like somebody getting grounded on national television when you're talking about a coach getting fired. And on top of it, like we talked about it when it happened. Like this really wasn't his guy. This wasn't his coach, right? But it speaks to the dysfunctional behaviors of the Bears that they've carried on for so long now. Like I would love for whatever the coaching search to be not only efficient, but I want names on it. Like I want people to be like, this is my guy. There was no outsider. Like I keep mentioning it. If I ran a cleaners for 100 years, or if I sold dope for 100 years, and my son or my family don't know how to wash and fold or do something or sell dope, like at what point am I going to stop going outside for help with the family business? And then these consultants, whether it be Ernie Accorsi or Bill Polian or anybody in between, they've led you astray. They've led you to picking coaches that didn't have previous experience, that you thought was cool, but ended up not being the answer. And ever since Lovie Smith, we've seen coaches come in and out of here. And I mean, let's face it, you got another quarterback who's going to be on his second head coach and his second offensive play caller in his second year. I mean, it's been documented, it's been detailed. So some of that lands on the organization, a lot of that lands on the organization. But at the same time, if you're Ryan Poles, you were in a position to take this job, and this is what you've been stapled with. So all of this goes on your record, right? Like we can't celebrate Darnell Wright and can't celebrate Jalen Johnson and some of these other dudes, the extension, I should say, for Jalen Johnson, without bringing up Chase Claypool, without bringing up Nate Davis, without bringing up, covering it in totality. Like nobody's free of blame, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like if it happened, I would be surprised, but I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be jaw-droppingly shocked because I think they're going to give him another run at whoever his head coach is. And on top of it, Kevin Warren gets a little bit of, and I hate this phrase because I hate to use it, especially when any human is involved, but he gets a little bit of a longer leash if you let this guy pick another coach and go, hey, guess what? Didn't work. There's another 2-3 years. Now we can get it back, and now I can be the full face and head of the Chicago Bears going forward.
Yeah, I was at that press conference when they were up on that stage, and Ryan Poles was talking like his girl just caught him and reading his phone, and he looked like he got punched in the chest. But
I should have never said that shit about taking the North and giving it back.
Oh my God,
man! I said it the day of. I'm like, fam, you new here. Like let's settle in, gang. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, when somebody move on the block that you lived on your whole life, and all of a sudden he start popping shit. It's like, hey,
yeah.
gang, like it's a lot. Don't go past Mr. Willis' house. Leave Chauncey and them alone. Like you got to let him lay the land here. He didn't learn to lay the land. He came in full, all guns blazing, and on top of that, he wore some shoes that a certain side thought was super dope, and I was like, all right, we got trouble. We got trouble. We got trouble. He wore some
uh,
Bobos out there. It was tough.
Final question for you. This has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with sports. But I'm very well aware that I'm one of the few black people who watch Seinfeld and appreciate it. But I
Oh
always
man.
like the grievances when people talk about they had the episode where everybody would talk about through the year what they had a problem with. So my question for you is, what are some things that you had a problem with in 2024? It can be sports related, it can just be regular, whatever. Man. You don't
Ooh.
like how people stand up in the hallway when they're playing lanes, whatever.
No, those are already documented. That's already documented. That's all. Yeah, I think we we got similar feelings about a lot of those things.
Yeah.
You know what's so crazy? I'm not even gonna lie to you, and I appreciate you. This is why you're a terrific host. This is why you're dope at what you do. I've never seen an episode of Seinfeld. So the fact that you
You're not
had
alone.
the fact that you got the insert right there, you let me
Yeah.
know with the quote. I feel like I've seen episodes because I've seen clips of, like,
Right.
the funniest clips or whatever, but I appreciate you kind of leading me down that way without making me look like a complete asshole.
Hey, 5 years
Um
ago, I didn't see the episode either. I'm late on it. I watched it
ah,
because I love
who
Curb
put
Your
you on,
Enthusiasm.
Scott?
Yeah, you're not
Uh,
alone, bro.
my
Who
mother
put you on?
actually
I
put me
know,
on.
Tay. I know.
My mother
Who
actually
put
put me
you
on.
on?
My
Who
mother
put you
actually put
on?
me on. My mom.
Who?
My mom
Okay.
actually put me on because I'm a big Curb Your Enthusiasm fan, and
Okay.
so she was like, "You just got to watch it. Like, you like that kind of humor." And I was like, "Oh, Larry
Word.
David did that first. I'll watch it." So yeah, I
Okay,
love
I
it.
thought you was gonna tell me somebody else put you on. I thought you was
Nah,
gonna
nah,
tell the
nah,
truth
nah,
out here.
nah. Me and
Okay,
my mom
okay,
put
cool.
each other on like different shows and stuff. So
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I blame shit on my mom too when I want to make sure I keep my anonymity. You know what I mean? It's that time of the year. Scott can't be saying who put him on the things.
right.
Next thing you know, a gift is necessary. So I feel you. I see you
Hey,
playing. I know what you're out here doing. Um, my grievance. It's probably the same thing, and it's kind of like a global thing. The accountability that I'm looking for out of people.
yeah.
Like we tend to push things off and respond in ways and kind of rationalize it by saying why it happened, and it happened because of something else. It's like let's bring back accountability. Let's bring in
Yes,
across the board, men, women,
100%.
everything in between. Let's bring back accountability so we can get back to being better folks. You know what I mean? I think as black men and as
Yeah.
black men in this industry and black men, period, we get held to account no matter whether we like it or not.
Hmm.
So I feel like everybody around us should also be held to the same account and make each other better. Other than that, man, yeah, like you said, standing up on planes, where you going, you look crazy, and then at some point you're gonna bump into somebody in the
Yeah.
airport, and you don't want that smoke. Um, yeah, hey, bring back customer service, right?
Yes.
I'm a
Man,
dude who tips
man.
well. I'm a dude who takes care of the people that take care of me. I actually I had an issue, this holiday season. I just ran in just now, so I apologize for my lateness, but it's
No, you're
holiday
all good, bro.
season, and I was at the same store 2 days in a row. And the day before, I couldn't even believe I went back, but I had to go back and get something else because I forgot something. But the day before, I go into this store, and you can just tell when there's an attitude, where there's when somebody's just not having a good day,
Hmm.
and I kind of give some kind of, I give room for that. But after a while, this person kept showing me that they really, really didn't care to help me, and she started rolling her eyes, and then she got on the phone on me, and I'm like, hey,
Oh,
I'm the customer here. So then when somebody else came and helped me, she stormed off and she made a big huff of it, and I was like, hey man, just bring back customer service.
yeah.
There are people out there who appreciate that you are working at a time during the holidays that other people may just be running around, or you may deal with assholes, whatever the case may be. But just remember out there that there's people who appreciate customer service, and and we'll reward you for it. Like the person who held me down shortly after I had this bad interaction. I threw her 2 Bulls tickets because she was looking
Looked
out.
out because she
Yeah,
did a good job. And shout out to people. Bring back people minding their business. I had kind of similar
oh
run
yeah,
in
that's
at Benny's a week ago. So I went to Benny's like the week before with my homie Pappy, and I bought a couple bottles of eggnog, bought
there you
a couple
go.
bottles of Jameson. You know what I'm saying? And she gave me like this judgy look, like you were just here a week ago. I'm like, mind your business and ring me up, like like you
Hey,
working the liquor store, so don't look at me because I'm buying alcohol.
you wild.
Like what are we doing here? So,
Hey,
but
I tell my wife all the time, man. Hey, minding your business could save your
it's
life.
key. It's definitely key.
Man.
It could
But
save your life.
we gonna get you out of here, man. We can follow you at Jason One Goff on Twitter, on Instagram, man. Of course, got the Bulls games coming up. Let them know if there's anything you want to promote before we get you out of here.
Hey man, we do the pod Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays on the Ringer. Spotify is the gang, the Full Go podcast, and of course, pre and post. Me and Kendall chopping it up. We got some good news coming for everybody who's been
Okay.
pulling me over in the streets, and hey, I can tell you. Oh, there it
Okay.
is, right there. I can tell you. Hey
Okay.
man,
Perfect.
stop running up on me talking about can't even see the game, dog. What y'all got? What you doing? Hey, there are other ways that you can tell me that you don't have $20
Right.
than telling me in front of your bitch and in front of mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hanging with my baby. We kicking it. I got my son with me. Dog, love what you do. Ain't been able to see you the whole year. I'm like,
Right.
hey,
Love what you
fam,
do.
I am trying to get a chicken parmesan right here.
Right.
So yeah, please. And for those who have not run up on me, hopefully here in the new year, we're gonna have some good news for you. So yeah, stop
Definitely.
running up on people
Stop
telling them
running
what
on
you
them in the
can't do.
street. Exactly.
Yeah. Just be like, Jay, I ain't got 20. Can I hold something for this antenna? And I'll be like, I got you. I got you. I'd rather you do that than you embarrass your girl and me in the same moment. You know what I'm
Definitely,
saying?
man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. Tay,
Always good
hey
to
man,
holler at
hold
you,
it down,
brother.
Tay. No. Scott,
Hey.
Scott getting too much money now. Okay, so like
I
let's
Hey.
ain't
let's
got no
start
money.
to
What money
regulate.
Mitch say? I ain't got
Yeah,
Hey,
no
you
let's
money.
see
start.
the glasses are a weekly thing
Oh,
now. At
okay.
first they
Oh
were just
yeah, no,
victory
I know.
glasses.
Oh,
Now he
I
just
know.
got the
Hey,
shades on.
listen.
That's just his thing.
Blind people and assholes, and he ain't blind. That's my man. You getting that bread? I see you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't worked this hard to stay the same. I know. Don't worry. I can't wait to read the blog. Y'all two talking shit about each other 5 years from now with the breakup. I can't wait.
That's
Y'all be
Hollywood Scott.
smooth, man.
All right,
Y'all
brother.
be
Hey man, be
smooth.
Appreciate
easy.
you.
Love.
Yes, sir. We're gonna bring our next guest in. We gonna keep it rolling here on I'm Not Gonna Hold You Holiday Special. We got another heavy hitter joining us right here on the show. We've got the one and only Shakeia Taylor. She is with the Athletic now.
Like we should
Getting
stand up
money
real
out.
quick.
Yeah, right,
Hey,
exactly.
hey.
Jason talking about us getting money. No, she getting money. She getting money. And you can follow her at Curly Fro on Twitter, man. Getting tuned everything she's doing. Got a real nice article we just put up on Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and the NBA Cup that just happened a couple days ago. How you doing, my friend?
I'm great. I'm great. I don't know if y'all can see, but I'm in Miami right now. It's 80
Oh, okay, yeah.
degrees. I'm doing great.
Yeah, doing good. They ain't got to deal with the cold weather and things like that. So
I was like, oh,
definitely.
it snowed at home? I had no idea.
I used to always doing that in LA, like, it's a nice 85 degrees out there. Y'all in a snowstorm. But you just came back from Vegas. Before we get to that, just tell me, how does it, going from Chicago Tribune to not Athletic, you did a lot of baseball stuff over there. Now you're moving on to the NBA. What's been like the biggest part of the transition?
You know what? At the Tribune, I covered everything, right? Like I jumped from sport to sport. At the Athletic, I'm just focusing on the NBA, which is really cool. But also, like, it is wild to me that I am now colleagues with some of the biggest names, of writers in the game. And so being able to pick their brains and ask them questions and get tips from them and just kind of find out how they do things has been really, really dope.
Definitely, and you know, I know me and you were talking too about like how you know the differences as well. You know, with the NBA in the NBA media compared to other medias.
Hmm.
What is something that being out there in Vegas with the NBA Cup that you enjoyed, and what was like the vibe like being out there? There was a lot of discussion about it was kind of dead and things like that. What was it like for you being there?
You know what? It was pretty quiet. Like, Marcus Thompson actually wrote a column recently that you can read where? At The Athletic,
Hmm.
about how the crowd actually was louder for the trampoline dunkers than they were for the game. Like, that was legit. It was very, very quiet. It was very subdued. I think it has a lot to do with it being a neutral site where you don't have a team, so you don't have fans. And I also think it has something to do with the timing. Like, yeah, the NBA Cup is making it, a positive and a more exciting time at a time in the league where it would normally be pretty quiet. And I think that's good, but you're missing the fans. It was so chill, it was so quiet. Also, it was a Saturday afternoon in Las Vegas. Like, people are hungover. I don't
Yes.
think the arena filled up for the semis until at least partway through. It was like very, 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 low attendance. And then out of nowhere, all these people showed up, but it still wasn't, a crowd. I don't think anyone had a particular advantage except the Hawks. And the
Mm.
Hawks had an advantage because the Falcons were in town. I actually walked around the arena talking to fans, and one of the things that they told me was, well, I didn't know the Hawks were going to be here. I was here for the football game, so I just bought a ticket to this. So it was way less enthusiasm than I thought there would be. So I think maybe they should reconsider a neutral site, or, maybe make those games a home game like the WNBA does. Because I posted pictures and videos and people were like, women's sports would never. And you know what? They were right. Like, the women got the beat on that.
Yeah, and that's an issue that the NBA has been having all year. We've had a lot of people complaining about ratings and marketing their younger stars. And as someone who deals with Major League Baseball, very well that's the same problem that Major League Baseball has. Do you think that basketball is in danger of being seen in a similar light as baseball?
You know what? This comparison has come up a lot over the last few days. It has come up a lot. Even I brought it up myself. I think that the NBA can look at what MLB has done, because I think we'd all agree, like, we do know a little bit more about guys in Major League Baseball now. I mean, yeah, there's a heavy Shohei Ohtani marketing thing going on, but we're also seeing a little bit more about other guys. We're seeing a ton of personality, right? We're seeing, Ellie down in Cincinnati, who you all know is one of my faves because I think he's just really fun. We could talk about some of the problems with his hitting, but
Yeah.
the guy is interesting and fun, and I think that's what the game needs. And on the NBA side, I think fans should stop complaining about ratings, first of all, because it's really not our business if you're a fan. Like, what do you care about ratings for?
It's
Watch who
like
you
talking about
want to
record
watch.
sales. It's like talking about record sales,
Right,
regardless.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think there's a ton of focus from the outside on like 3-point shooting, but we're in the spaced out era right now. So we either embrace that we're in the spaced out era, or we complain consistently that guys are protecting themselves, not getting down in the paint, not going straight up to the rim. But like, who wants to get elbowed in the face? I think like we got to have some balance, but I think there are some things that the NBA can take from Major League Baseball as far as bringing back the excitement. When MLB made the bases larger, brought in the pitch clock, right? The runner on second that people hate and no one has decided on what they want to call it. Is if it's the Manfred man, is it the ghost runner? And then all those rules kind of went away in the playoffs, and the playoffs are fire, right? Like, y'all enjoyed the playoffs too. So I think there's definitely not one-to-one comparisons, obviously, because the sports are played differently. And NBA is supposed to be a fast-paced game. And, the NBA it doesn't have very many lulls in the game. It's a poetic game. There's rhythm to the game. There's speed to the game. But I think there's some things they could absolutely take away from Major League Baseball. Maybe not too much though, because baseball sometimes gets it wrong.
Right. We know you got to get out here in a couple minutes, so I don't want to keep you too long. But one non-sports thing. So, me and you talk all the time. I want a few black people who watch Seinfeld, but I love the grievances, the Festivus episodes. I'm gonna be asking everybody, what's their 2024 grievances? What are some of yours? If you that you need to get out your system before the year ends.
Oh, are we talking sports or just
general?
It
could be anything. It could be anything. Okay. You don't like how people walk down the street. It's whatever.
Oh, I got a couple. Okay, so my first one is I'm really tired of airlines nickel and diming us for less space. Like a great example is, on my flight to Vegas, I had to buy a round trip ticket. Then I had to pay to move my seat so that I wasn't sitting on the tail of the plane. And then everyone brings a bag on because they charge you to check a bag. So now the overhead compartments are full. I am tired of the airlines nickel and diming us. It has to stop. I can't deal with it. Another grievance of mine is people in sports complaining to writers about things that we don't have anything to do with. Like, I'm so sorry, but I do not run your favorite team. I don't have anything to do with that. I don't know why the GM or manager or whatever of your favorite team is making the decisions they're making. I am just here to report the news, not make it. So I'm not sure what people want me to do about that. And then I have another grievance that is ridiculous, but in 2025, clean your shoes. Clean your sneakers. I'm so tired of seeing people walking around in dingy sneakers. And then a sub to that is your socks. If your socks used to be white and they're not white no more,
you shouldn't be wearing them. Socks. Yeah.
Throw them away.
Time for new socks. Yeah.
I will personally buy you a 10-pack of socks from Kmart. Is Kmart still around? I
haven't seen a Kmart in a while.
That's why I said it, because I'm not buying nobody no socks. But take the hit. Wash your socks. Get some bleach. Buy some new socks. They come in packs. Don't buy your socks on Amazon. Go somewhere else. But please, no dingy shoes. No dingy socks. Just don't be dingy in 2025. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's start the year with some clean habits, people. Wearing dirty socks is to me actually might be worse than dirty shoes.
It's offensive.
It's nasty. Yeah.
It's offensive because even if you washed yourself, I'm now questioning how well you did because your socks are kind of dirty.
Right. Exactly. So, Shakeia, let them know they can follow you at everything you got going on before we get you up out of here.
You can follow me at Curly Fro on Twitter. I also have the same name on Blue Sky, which I have decided to call Blueski because it sounds so much more fun. Yes. I am on Instagram at A Little Bit of Dope, and absolutely subscribe to The Athletic. I believe you can actually, once you subscribe, check my name and keep up with everything that I write and things that I have going on there.
All right, that is Shakeia Taylor. I will holler at you, my friend. Have a great time in Miami. And I'll holler at you and holler at you. Probably tomorrow.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
All right. Easy. Before we bring our next guest in, I just want to talk about the Sammy Sosa thing real quick. It's been on my heart. God. Now, y'all know I'm a former White Sox fan. I've taken my 10-year Los Angeles residency, thrown on a card and saying we're going for the Dodgers. But I was a big Sammy Sosa guy. I don't think you could have lived in Chicago, whether you were a Cubs fan or Sox fan, and not love Sammy Sosa. So in order for him to come back and be around the team, he had to admit his role in steroids, which he didn't really admit, but he kind of alluded to it. I think it's bullshit. And the reason I think about it is, first of all, I hate the holier than thou thing that the MLB has, especially the Cubs. If you look at Cubs attendance at Wrigley Field prior to Sammy Sosa and after Sammy Sosa, it's worlds apart. And if you're going to condemn him for what he did, condemn yourself and give back all the money that you made during that time period. And that to me is why it's BS. I get why Sammy did it, because I guess he wants to come back home to the Cubs, wants to be back around the organization. But Ricketts wasn't even there, dog. And to me, it just comes off real racist too, where white people want you to make sure you're clean before you come home to do certain things, man. But Dante, what do you think about the situation?
Oh yeah, it was disgusting, bro. It really reminded me. I know, obviously, it's different situation, but it reminded me of when the PGA made Tiger Woods apologize. It's what the fuck are we doing here? You're talking about a man who like legit saved baseball. Like that was one of the most exciting times, and still is one of the most exciting times in the history of the game. And this is something that Bob Costas has said, and me, you, and Scott, we both said it. You can't sit here and bank all of that money, all of that revenue, and you didn't give any of that money back. But you sit here and want to chastise certain players and pick and choose who you want to punish. And in Sammy Sosa's case, like you said, he is one of the greatest Cubs ever, one of the most popular Cubs of this generation. It was no reason for them to treat him the way that they treated him. And so for you as the Ricketts to sit there and say, all right, you got to come kiss the ring. And then as soon as he makes the statement, you immediately release, okay, we're going to invite you to Cub Con. We're going to try to get you in, I know it's last minute. It was ridiculous to me. And but that's something that Sammy wanted to do. Like you said, he didn't flat out say I took steroids, but he alluded to it, something that, we all know he did. But I just hopefully they can put this behind him. And he is one of the greatest athletes in the history of Chicago. So seeing him back in the fold, that'll be something I know Cub fans will enjoy. And we'll see where it goes. But for the Ricketts to do that and for that just to be the precedent they set, it reminded me a lot of when they made Tiger apologize for cheating on his wife, which
was hilarious. It's like, you cheat on your wife. Like, what are we doing? Every athlete on planet Earth has to apologize for that, man. But we're gonna bring in our next guest, man. We get our third guest of the day, man. We've got the homie Blk Tray, Travonne Edwards, man. He does a lot of things. Got a new basketball show called Hoop Sense, man. You can check that out. Since the last time you had him on, you probably heard his voice on the Jason Tatum commercial when he won the NBA Finals, man. Doing big things. Trey, how you doing, bro?
What's up, man? Why you got them glasses on? You Hollywood as hell now, bro. This ain't getting money. Hey, Scott getting money, bro.
Hey, man, I'm in a festive mood today, brother.
Well, Uncle, I say, whole world know you getting money, nigga.
Well, what money, man? Say I ain't getting no money, man. I ain't getting no money. But yeah, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm chilling, bro. What's good with you?
Ain't much, man. Out here watching my dog. Sorry if I keep looking back, man.
It's all good.
Been doing a lot.
Usually my dog makes a cameo with the loud noises he makes from barking at the mailman. Like they got like some type of beef. Like he can smell that nigga down the block. But yeah, man. Let's talk about the new show you got, man. Hoop Sense. You're doing more on screen content, man. Tell us about that.
Yeah, man. So I got a show off Count the Dings, my network, with my co-founders. I just wanted to go in studio. Been doing podcasts for a long time and wanted to like try something different. Obviously, I feel like Roddy Ricch, man. The pandemic kind of killed my momentum. I had a good thing going. We were selling our live shows. We was, being the podcast kings that we were. Mm-hmm. And then everybody just kind of leapfrogged us. So we had to, hit a timeout and call a new play. And the new play was pretty much, to go in studio and do our thing that way. So we also got Pack Your Knives that's in studio as well. We launched that episode like a week and a half ago, maybe 10 days. But Mike Zakarian, I low-key kind of reached out looking for potential co-hosts, and I got spammed by his whole community. And he'd been doing his thing for a minute. And we did a test run, and the chemistry was there. And sometimes you just gotta get a white person, you know what I mean, for people to tap in. So like it worked out, but nah, just all jokes. Mike is great. And it's been cool, man. It's been super receptive. It's kind of weird because you've been doing this thing and everybody else has been doing their thing on podcasts and we're killing it. But sometimes it's something about those vertical videos that make people pay attention a little bit more and some captions.
Yeah, exactly. And Dante, who we kicking off to get our white guy? We kicking Bang out? I think we're gonna kick Bang out because Bang didn't show up to work today. So
we can't kick him out. Because Bang is a good plug himself. We want to just slide somebody. You gotta get a rotation.
We kicking Mikey out. Somebody gotta go. 6 is a crowd, nigga. Like that's
Hey man, you get a white co-host, man. They start listening, bro.
Right? Exactly. Who we got? We gonna have Courtney and Mikey play rock paper scissors. Best out of 3. Who stays? But yeah, man. Let's talk some NBA. Last time we had you on, man, it was right before the NBA Finals. We were talking about the Celtics and things like that, man. And it was actually funny. Like, can you tell us like how did the whole Jason Tatum commercial thing happen? Because that kind of was something just as soon as they won, I was like, hold on, that voice sounds familiar. Like I know this guy.
I mean, it's crazy. When we were on, we were bashing the Celtics the last time I came on your show.
We definitely were.
So it was like it was crazy. But I work at an advertising agency, White and Kennedy, and we got tons of creatives. That's not my role anymore to write commercials and things like that anymore. But I was in town and they were looking for voice actors. So they was like, "Yo, Trey, would you do it?" Now I don't get no royalties from it because I work for the company, so it's like a conflict of interest. But I was like, I'm gonna just throw this. I'm gonna throw this joint out. I'm gonna throw this joint out. You know what I'm saying? And just try to build a resume. So I was like, all right, I'll do it. And I did a couple reads, and they was like, "Yo, this shit, this actually works." And Jordan approved. I did another one though. I was going hard, and Jason Tatum was like, "Nah." He was like, "Nah." And actually, when it went live, it aired, right?
Yeah.
I posted the version that I wasn't supposed to post. So the actual version that, you know, I was like, "Yo, your son," I'm going hard, like, "Your son better than you." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just going crazy. And they was like, "Nah, take that down." So I ended up taking it down or whatever. But shout outs to the Jordan brand, shout outs to Jason Tatum. I'm glad that he was able to get one. I want to say he need to thank me and Scott. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We motivated that boy.
motivating, exactly.
But yeah, like Align, man, you know, I was arguing today about how Jason Tatum doesn't get the right MVP love that he deserves. You know, I seen something like Jokic is on top, man. Not to say like I'm getting complacent with Jokic, but that team is not number one in the West.
Yeah.
The team is not the best team in the league. And we shouldn't penalize great players because they have good teams or they're surrounded by other people. You know what I mean? You still got to score in these things. And Jason Tatum averaging 28.5 and being number 5 on the MVP ladder just because he doesn't play fourth quarter sometimes, or you know, he's not consistently trying to score 50. Right. That's not how this works. We reward winners in this league. And we kind of lost that once we started to, you know, kind of play into those things of like giving the Russell Westbrook triple-double season, which was amazing. You know what I mean? And Jokic is averaging a triple-double right now, if I stand corrected, but they're just not winning games. So
yeah, they out here fighting for their life against the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what I told Waz. I'm like, man, I need to get on TV too. I caught Waz in the middle of the Black Quarterback documentary. I was like, hold on, I know this guy. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, somebody get me on TV, man. I'm here.
Get Top on the phone.
Yeah, get Top on the phone, man. Yeah. But let's talk about the new NBA All-Star format, man. I want to get your opinion on this. My personal opinion on NBA All-Star is it's not the game. That to me is the issue. It's the effort that's the issue here, man. So, you know, you got there's going to be, you know, honorary general managers. You know, it's going to be Charles Barkley, Shaq, Kenny, Candace Parker. The 24 selections of the All-Star will be divided into a player team. And it's also going to include the Rising Stars champions. And it's basically going to be a tournament, you know, between the teams. And you know, the winner, you know, basically first team to surpass 40 points, all that. You can see it up there. To me, I don't think it's really going to change much because it's not going to change the attitude of the players or wanting to give more energy. And I'm not somebody who's super nostalgic to the point where I'm going to be like, oh, every All-Star game was competitive front to back. No, but I always got the fourth quarter. Like I at least always got the fourth quarter of both teams carrying and bringing that energy. You know, we heard LeBron's opinion this week. He said the same thing. Like, you know, I don't really think that's going to change much. KD said he hates it. What's your opinion on a format? And do you think that just the All-Star game in general was lost?
I don't. Selfishly, I don't want to let it go, and I also don't want to bash it publicly so that we do lose it and it becomes a Pro Bowl. But I will say, technically, this quote-unquote All-Star showcase is bad. It's not great. It's more of a high susceptible situation for players to get hurt. You know, and this thing, fans have also lost the plot of, hey, this is all for fun, whether you competitive or not. And like last year, all the 3-point shot attempts made it boring, but no one got hurt. And that's the main goal. Guys are even considering like not being all-stars so they can get the 5 days off. You get what I'm saying? Like it's to that point now. But I think, and I had this conversation with Bomani this past week about thinking about incentivizing defensive players, incentivizing like literally showing instead of the skybox up at the top, not the skybox, but the Jumbotron, have cash visible. Like, you know, like a clear piggy bank or something.
Oh, you mean like kind of like Money in the Bank from WWE?
Yeah, right. So just have it, like, you know, whatever the stake is, and players like money. You know what I mean? Like that's the same reason why players are getting up and playing for a trophy, the Emirates Cup, that doesn't affect their record. You know what I mean? 500K is 500K. So I think if they got that purse up to like $1 million, not even 750, or we incentivize the best defensive player or incentivize the player of the game, like to a point where it's really worth their while, they're going to play hard because they want that bread. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. It's sad, but like money moves everything. I mean, you know, I was working with the McDonald's All-American guys, and I remember Derek Whitehead in them year, Keontae George, etc. And like, these kids are nice. Like, they're in the NBA now, but like, I had to basically say, hey, who's going at who? And they was like, you know, and I'm like, dang, like, I would be like, he number one? Okay, I'm taking his head off. It was not that vibe at all. It was like, we all getting paid. We all here. I really don't even want to be here. That's the vibe. And I think that's just kind of the too coolness, and not like, there's no like specific pride added to All-Star anymore. You get what I'm saying?
I feel that's also kind of probably like, I watched Starting Five on Netflix. When I went to London in October, that was a long ass flight to London, and I just went through the whole season. And I'm like, a lot of these players don't have personalities. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, where that might carry on to the court. Like LeBron and Jimmy were like the only ones on there who had like personality.
Yeah,
and Anthony Edwards too. But like, some of the other, and I think that's a big problem with, you know, we're just here, we're brands, we're having a good time. You know, we've been hooping with these guys since AAU. Yep. You don't really care about, you know, going at them. And I think that's been a generation gap between the last era.
Yeah, I mean, again, also, we just got to let go of the past.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, everything, sneakers, clothes, all that, like, create new memories, or allow this generation to create the new memories. It's back in my day and whining, like, our time has passed, dog. We're screaming at the, you know, on the helipad trying to be heard.
The old man yelling at the
like, you know, like take that shit offline, bro. Go to your group chat and complain, because like, we ain't moving the needle anyway. We just sound bitter, you know what I'm saying? And like, this is the product that we got, so we got to find a silver lining in it. And it's like I said, there's, you know, people are like, oh, like, there's not enough stars playing. No, there were stars. Shai Gilgeous, you know what I mean? Dame, Giannis, you know what I mean? Trae Young was in that joint. You know what I'm saying? like, they're there, but we're just hung up on narratives. And like, if the narrative ain't juicy enough for you to care about, or even same thing of like, I for one, and I can't speak on y'all upbringing, but I grew up poor, bro. So the fact that tickets are as low as $29 for me to get in the building.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That is a great thing if you get to see a professional game. And it's almost like, when did we start teasing because something is cheap?
Yeah, like, that kind of goes back, like you said, being in school, people make fun of you for things. Like, before I started covering the Bears, I've maybe been to Soldier Field one time. Like, I can't afford a Bear games.
Yeah.
$400 just to get outside Soldier Field. Like,
Dog, I didn't go to my first NBA game till my homie made it to the NBA. Marcus Williams made it he got drafted by the Nets. And I started going to games. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna put you on a family pass. He put me on a family pass. I was going game every time. I'm like, oh, you know, it got to the point where I'm like, I'm knowing the players. Is, you know, it's different. But going to my very first one, I was so geeked. I had a post-game pass. I'm hyped to see Clifford Robinson. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Uncle Cliff, you know what I'm saying? Rest in peace. But like, it was crazy, you know what I'm saying? Like, but we got to get back to like actually just appreciating stuff. You know what I mean? Like, everything's just too cool and normalized, bro. Like, anything you look at, you're just like, Like, Yin Yang Twins performed at my company party last night. I was hyped.
I saw it on your IG.
I was hyped, dog. Like, I'm like, dog, let me take my cool shades off for a second and just really enjoy this moment, because I can't act like this normal. I know I'm around people all the time. Shit, even people look at me crazy now, like, as somebody, and I'm still just the same old Trey. You know that.
Go ahead,
definitely, bro. It's funny, you know, we talk about, you know, the perception of the NBA and like the focus on narratives and everything like that. And I feel like that's boiled over into the viewership problem. Now, one, should people even be worried about the ratings? Because I feel like this is something that come up, you know.
No, if you don't work if you don't work for no cable company, if you ain't one of the analysts getting paid, getting that chili, you just need to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a conversation. And the thing is about social media, I'm a part of social media. I need these topics because we are podcast hosts and we talk about the thing. We really don't compare we don't get off air and complain on our free time. We're watching just like you. So as you complain about these things, when did you ever compare? It's like analytics, bro. When did I care about Iverson taking 29 shots? When did I actually care about if somebody, you know what I mean? Like record sales really didn't matter. I did not care about if somebody went gold or plastic if it was something I truly enjoyed.
I didn't know nothing about it till 50 Cent started calling himself Curtis in the Scope Jackson.
You get what I'm saying? When it
I was like, oh, that's
stuff,
what SoundScan is. I didn't know before then. Yeah.
Like when we start talking about viewership and all that other stuff, like that's just stats. That's ego stuff for arguments. You know what I mean? See, I knew that's like digging through a trash can to find a problem. No one is. I'm not watching the game and saying, "See, man, we got to turn this shit off by the end of the first quarter because they only got 16% viewership." What? Could you imagine if they had a viewership rating? Each quarter?
That would be terrible. Yeah.
What?
That would be terrible.
Quit fronting on the internet like you truly care about the actual viewership numbers. It's fine. Yeah. I do understand. I do complain about the 3-point shooting because a lot of people can't shoot. You know what I'm saying? I'm watching Dylan Brooks shoot and then kind of do this, like a lean after he shoot, like, damn, I hope it go in, or I shouldn't have shot this shit. Like, we got to get back to shaming people for who got bad 3-point percentage and can't
100%.
Really shoot. You know what I mean? 100%. It's like now coaches is like, hey, if you're open, take that shot.
Yeah, I think
that too, NBA Cup game, the Thunder should not have been like 4 for 22 from 3.
Oh my goodness! Like I thought it was a typo. I was like, there's no way they're shooting 13% from 3. Like what is going? That's my biggest issue. I think with the viewership, I'm with you. Like when it comes to viewership numbers, when it comes to record sales, as long as I like what I'm watching, it's not a problem. But I do kind of feel like the interest level with the NBA. I don't know if it's just the Twitter bubble and things like that, but you know when you see
just the 1%, bro. It's the 1%.
About this, to me, this is why I think too, just the way people watching it though, because I know people who are younger than me and they won't even watch the House of Highlights. They're watching like the short format, like we just talked about. And not that maybe the NBA is ahead of the curve with the way sports is going to be covered. It's just interesting when you see the NFL numbers rising. Even somebody like Major League Baseball is, as much as people don't really care about them, even their numbers kind of jumped this season. So that's to me where it's like when you talk about like a business conversation, the average fan don't care about that. But to me, do you think that there's anything do you think forget the numbers, do you think the interest in the NBA is low?
I just think fans don't respect basketball. And what I mean by that, they don't respect the craft of it. It's become so simplified. Me and Evan Turner just had a conversation on Monday about how
shout out Chicago legend Evan Turner.
He could retire and still get sent to the end of the bench despite him playing in the league. You get what I'm saying? When somebody who probably was like an ex-teacher,
right,
an ex-cop, could become an assistant coach or a referee or whatever it is. Like the NBA is really truly the place where you can live out your dreams. You can't do that shit in the NFL. You can't do it in the MLB. You can't do it in the NHL. You know what I'm saying? Like there is even when you look at the game shows, right? When you do the NFL red zones and all them joints where there is no, I didn't play. You look at those resumes, those dudes are literally studying game film. I cannot break down football like I break down basketball, but I actually played. I played college basketball. I'm saying, again, I'm the greatest basketball player of all time. I have high IQ. I was a point guard, pass first. I came out at a different time. But at the end of the day, at least I played if somebody called me out and said, oh, man, like, shut up. You know what I mean? Right. I played. I've earned the respect from these guys that made it to the next level. I played at one point in time. But then you go in here, and again, I'm not saying, hey, if you didn't play college basketball or high school basketball, you shouldn't cover the game. But it's just the fans look at it as, hey, I can nitpick a person's game because the analysts do it the same way. And they can't do the things that the athletes can do. They're great at writing. They're great at doing this thing that we're doing, but they can't do the thing. You get what I'm saying? So it's harder to digest in a thing of like, seeing basketball as a complex sport. If you are in an NBA game and don't know schemes, basketball has about 5 plays, and this is an ego thing for coaches, right? They say, okay, you're gonna slip, we're gonna do this, you're gonna screen here, but it's all the same play. They just have different actions,
different
right?
variations,
Yeah.
But as you get into the NBA, there are different ways how you have to be, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the game, but we've made the game to a point where everybody 1 through 5 shoots threes. I like Wemby, but I don't like Wemby shooting 8 threes. I think it's cool. I think it's cool that he can do a step back, but like, I'd rather you just dominate and get 50 and down low. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that is your, you know what I mean? Like we all got them people where you play against on Madden and you say, hey, you can't beat me on the long ball though. All you do is run. All you do is run. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't gonna throw the ball.
And then you throw it and you pick it and you like,
yeah,
stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is for a big taking a 3 now. Because like now Giannis, you know, like Giannis done paid attention so much into like, oh, he ain't got no bag, that he's actually trying to prove that he has a bag, and it's went away from his success.
Yeah.
Of actually dominating. He's the second coming of Shaq, bruh. The most dominant player of this era. And fans have talked him out of using his strength.
Yeah. And stop listening to the people. Stop listening. And one of my favorite things that Rex Ryan has said, former Jets coach Rex Ryan, you listen too much to the fans, you're going to be sitting right up there with them. Yep. And that's 100% with it, man. I want to make a pivot real quick, man. I want to talk a little hip hop. As we wind down the year, it really feels like, you know, this ain't feel like it has been Kendrick's year. This has been Kendrick's year. The last time we talked to you, I think not like us, probably like a couple weeks old at the time. And now, you know, album out, tour been announced. SZA just dropped another collaboration with her and Kendrick that I really like, and I was already sure she was gonna be on Super Bowl stage. I'm like very convinced of that now. But just, you know, what do you think about this year that Kendrick has had? For me, I put it up there with some of the great hip hop single years. Like, you know, you think about Snoop's first year. You know, you think about 50 in 2003, DMX in 98, Wayne in 07, 08, those type of years. Where would you rank it? And just what have you seen? You know, somebody being from Compton, you know, this has got to be very, very prideful for y'all. Like, y'all really got to feel like the city's on top right now.
I don't even filter it out to Compton. I filter it out to the West. Like, I think the West is just, there's so many talented people. Like, I mean, that I can just shout out and just say that they're doing a thing. But like, Kendrick's run has been great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to get annoying with it because I understand people. It's almost unbearable. And I like, again, I still listen to Drake and all that other stuff. Like, I'm a fan of music first. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also a fan of competition, and rap has competition in it. And I thought that Kenny had such an amazing year to allow him to be quote unquote rapper of the year, if that was ever a thing. You get what I'm saying? But he's just showing a craft, and that where he's at, he's truly in his prime of his career where he can kind of like do no wrong. He just had like a random ass one-off on SZA's deluxe album. And I just don't think he can miss at this particular moment. He has the people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know about Queen of the Dam, but Vampire Lestat having people under mind control. That's Kendrick right now, bro. Like, and it's only going to go crazy because, you know, when you do, I'm sorry, this is my advertising hat. When you do Super Bowl, your streams go up 400%.
Yep.
So you don't think when he does these 15-second snippets of whatever it is, he not going to be out of here on streaming records?
Like, and he already out of there right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to that point. So amazing year for Compton, amazing year for Kendrick Lamar, Kenny Duckworth. You know what I'm saying? But you know, overall, shouts to Jarrell too, man. I got to shout out my man Jarrell. Jarrell don't get enough love, man. Jarrell is the reason why all those features on GNX. He is the true ear to the street. And the unsung hero behind PG Lang and Kenny's success. He does a lot of unstated things. He is the who is it? The Alex Caruso of PG Lang.
He's the AC of PG Lang.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, man. And as a day one Kendrick fan, I've been a fan of Kendrick since first time I heard Michael Jordan song. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, you know, I was like, what is this? Dedicated. Overly dedicated. I've been a fan since, and it just as somebody who these last 2-3 years, there's been a lot of stupid takes.
Crazy thing about it, Schoolboy still wasn't rapping yet.
Yeah, right, exactly.
He was the hype man. That's crazy, right?
He was the hype man at the time.
And fun fact, you live in LA now. Schoolboy was a wide receiver at Los Angeles Southwest College.
I heard about that stuff. When him and Ali, right? When Ali over there, yeah. And you know, the thing too with Dot, the last couple years been a lot of bad takes, and this has just been an amazing year for me for even shutting some of the stupid takes. Even though it don't change how I listen to his music, but I hated he can't make a hit record. You know, women don't listen to Kendrick. All that stupid stuff kind of feels like it's been shut down this year, but. I love executed. You know, you brought up the advertising. I just love when a plan is executed perfectly. You know, the more I hear about how stuff was made, squabble up. Some people in the squabble up video didn't even know they were in the video, and just all of that. It's just shout out to Calmatic. I've been a fan here since the videos he had Overdose back in the day. I was a huge Overdose fan when I was in college. And just seeing the way it's laid out has just been perfect. And I can't wait to go to the tour. You know, I'm trying to go to both spots. I'm trying to see him in Chicago and LA. We'll see if
I'm going to Toronto.
If you going to? Yeah, I want to go to Toronto too. I want to go to Toronto dressed like Kurt Angle, to see that. But that's going to be a big one. But do you have any expectations for what you think he could possibly do in the Super Bowl? Because he is an excellent performer.
I think he's just gonna perform at a high level, man. He takes the art and the craft so serious. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna pay a lot of homage, and I think he's going to really show how much of a superstar he is. You get what I'm saying? Like, we had Eazy-E, we've had Game, we've had so many talented artists come out of LA and Compton in that area, but we've never had a superstar. Snoop's from Long Beach. Again, a lot of people treat Long Beach like it's LA. It is Long Beach.
It is Long Beach. It's a different world.
Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Snoop is the most recognizable face in hip hop from Long Beach is crazy. You know what I mean? But for Kendrick to do what he does, one of our biggest superstars. He's kind of like, honestly, you know what I mean? Again, he ain't won no championships, but he's like James Harden, bro, for us. Because James Harden's from Eastside Compton, and James Harden is one of the most decorated players we've ever had come out of our city outside of Tayshaun Prince and Paul Pierce. You know what I'm saying? Like, Paul Pierce from Inglewood, but you know what I mean? Like, think about all the players. Shouts to Quick. Yeah.
Shout out to Quick.
That's my GOAT, by the way. Shouts to you, Derek.
Yeah, Quick is one. Yeah, he's done my Mount Rushmore for West artists for me.
But yeah, man, like, shouts to Kenny, man. He gonna kill it. He gonna do his thing. I'm curious to what Dave Free has up under his, in his portfolio for him to go off, and I'm sure they're gonna have another bigger marketing thing. And then also stay on the lookout for Baby Keem. He in the studio coming soon.
Shout out Baby King. One last thing, man, before we get you out of here, man. It is the end of the year. I wanted to talk about grievances. Like I've always said, not a lot of black people watch Seinfeld, but I did, and I love the grievances episode where everybody would talk about what they hated from the year. So is there anything you have problems with? Anything got to be sports. It could be something random, like I don't like how people be driving on this side of the street or something like that. Is there anything from 2024 that you had a problem with?
You said from 2024?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think, man, I just think that we've been complaining way too much. Everybody been complaining too much, bro. Including me. You know what I'm saying? Like, including me, bro. I just think we just need to pack this shit up, get ready for 25, bro. But more focus on what we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think focus on what's in front and how do you make it better. And if you can't make it better, shut the fuck up.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good point. I do complain a lot too. I think like the average everyday thing annoys me.
No, but you cover a sport, so it's different. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, your job is to critique. You know what I'm saying? But as a consumer, shut the fuck up. TV, music, because that shit's hard to do, bro. Clothes. It's easy to say, that's trash. And I'm not saying don't say it's trash. Cool. Rightfully so, because that might motivate somebody to get better. But we be discrediting some good shit, man. And it's getting lame. It's getting lame. It's getting lame. Like it's getting some point. Like, you know what I'm saying? We the unks as is.
100% we the
Yeah.
unks.
No, it's like a lot of people have become the niggas that we hated when we were shorties. Like that's really what it is now. Like the same people that we was like, damn, bro, we sitting here just trying to figure out what we want to do. And there was always somebody shitting on us. And now when you look back, you take a step back, a lot of people are becoming that same person that we hated when we was growing up. And that shit is crazy.
Nah, it's facts.
100%, man. But Trey, man, always good to holler at you, brother. Anything you want to plug before we get you up out of here?
Yeah, man. I want to plug Hoop Sense on Count the Dings Network on YouTube. Catch us. We got 3 episodes live. BOMM Pod, Black Opinions Matter. We live on StreamYard just like this. So you can catch us on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern. And then I'm going crazy right now on Threads, basketball Threads. They put me, they showed your boy love and got me in the suggested following list with Malika Andrews and all the heavy hitters as one of the voices of NBA Threads. So tap in over there. And then I'm on Blue Sky too, but you know what I'm saying? You know, y'all support Scott in anything he do, bro. Run it up.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I'm on Blue Sky too, but I just got that as backup, just in case.
Can I explain the science really quick? All right. So Twitter, if you still want to be toxic and you still want to keep the know of the real time things, stay on X. If you want to build community, use Threads. If you want to promote your basketball and any other content, like if you're a writer, journalist, any sports thing that you want to be respected, use Blue Sky.
That's the best way to break it down, because it really feels it's 2 different worlds when you go on there, man. So Trey, always good to holler at you, bro. You have a good holiday, man. And we appreciate you.
Holla at me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We're gonna bring our next guest on in just a little bit. We got Chuck English gonna pull up on us real quick, man. Shout out to everybody who has joined us already. Shout out to Trey, shout out to Shakeia, shout out to Jason Goff. Man, you know what I was thinking about, and just wanted to talk about this as we wait for Chuck to come on. What you think about this conversation, man, with this MVP joint, man, with the people saying Josh Allen got in the bag and we ain't giving Lamar enough love?
I mean, people are just tired of Lamar. We always talk about voter fatigue. Like, we get sick of having this conversation, but it is a very real conversation. But I think that takes away from everything great that Lamar has done. With Josh, I think it also, a lot of people counted them out this year. We was like, oh, he gets his receivers gone. They're not going to be on shit. So for them to have the success they've been having now, everybody's going to say, well, see, it's solely because of Josh Allen. And he has done a lot of heavy lifting. So, like, I get it. But I think you just got to let the season play out. And Lamar Jackson's really fucking good, bro. Like,
even he has defeated me. I have nothing else to say about him.
He's really good, bro.
I will say this: if they were actually leading their division, I don't think it would be much of a conversation. I know my brother said that he doesn't. It's just narrative involved. And narrative is involved with every MVP of every sport. And I do think a lot of it has to do with them playing so well when nobody thought they were playing well, and the fact that the Ravens are still number 2 in the AFC North, which has been the issue. But I definitely think that. Also, voter fatigue. I think you can tell from people that they've already made their mind up, but I feel like there's a nuance in that conversation that, it's like when LeBron or like Jordan, if they could win every year, if you're just going off them being best player. But I think more than anything, the team, it used to be the team was just as good as Lamar. Now it's like the team is only where they're at right now because of Lamar. So that will probably go into the case for him being MVP. But I'm really interested to see how these next 3 games going to finish off, because the Bills have had more impressive wins, while I don't really feel the Ravens have really had an impressive win this year. So I want to see how that's going to go over these next couple of games, man. But it is time to bring in our next guest. He is a friend of the program, man. If you haven't seen him on here, pretty sure you've seen him other stuff, man. He is one half of the legendary hip-hop group, The Cool Kids, man. Our guy, Chuck English, man. Chuck, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, man?
How you feeling, man?
Hanging in there, doing my best.
Good, man. Always good to have you on, man. We got an announcement for the people. The playoffs begin in a couple weeks, man. Playoffs begin in a couple weeks. Our team will not be in there, but we're gonna be having Chuck hold it down for us, man. As our Lions correspondent through this run for them heading into the playoffs, man. We'll be talking about heading into the game, recapping the game, and things like that. But man, it's been a rough patch for y'all these last couple weeks. Obviously, still been winning, but a lot of people being lost on injuries, lost a lot of defensive guys. Dave Montgomery saw a second opinion. Hoping that he comes back at the end of the season. He just had a tough loss to the Bills. Where's the vibe check at right now for the Lions? How are Lions fans feeling right now?
Last week was understandable. You know what I mean? Like, it was a generational game by Josh Allen. Some of them passes that he'd thrown, it was just, you can't really do nothing with that. And if you scored 42 points and you still lost, it was just a good game. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say the vibe check is get healthy. Get healthy before the playoffs, and we gotta beat the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a big game towards the end of the season. Bears and Lions play each other this week. Last time played was on Thanksgiving. I was there at Ford Field. And it's funny. Like, that was the first game I've left where the fans weren't like, oh, yeah, we beat the Bears. It was, what was Matt Eberflus doing? Even from Lions fans.
No,
it was like, this was stupid. Like, it just was crazy to vibe in Ford Field after this.
That was a generational tweak. I've never seen nothing like that. Like, I don't know. I feel like y'all going through shit we used to have to go through. Yes. And like, I would say Jim Schwartz is a way better coach than Matt Eberflus, but some people don't deserve to be head coaches, man. Sometimes those glorified coordinators need to stay coordinators, because now you got a whole nother job to do, and you're not doing what you're really good at. So, but yeah, that was a generational tweak, and I don't really think that was the coach as much as it was Caleb making rookie mistakes, not really paying attention to the clock.
Yeah, that was too. But also the thing too, like Caleb, it's a weird thing. Rookies, like, you're not allowed to call timeout towards the end. He even said that in a press conference, and I give Caleb a lot of credit. I was sitting there in the press conference and in the locker room, which I had a vibe like, yo, there's just no way this dude don't get fired. Like, I didn't know what happened after. What happened before we walked in there? I didn't know that they basically kicked Eberflus out the locker room. I didn't know that happened before I walked in there. But you can tell it was a different vibe than before, man. And so coming into this game, I'm just not picking the Bears to win any game for the rest of the year. I gotta see it. It's been 8 games. I'm not doing that. I am not putting my name on the line for that. As far I don't care how beat up y'all are. I gotta see it. I just can't in good faith pick to bet the Bears to win. But,
yeah, and then we have a different type of superpower coming off a loss. So
that is also true.
I know things gonna be clicking on all cylinders for the game on Sunday.
Yeah, definitely, bro. And you said 3 games left. Y'all currently tied for the 1 seed. How important is that 1 seed? And with all the injuries y'all got, do you feel like it's something that's still attainable for the Lions?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because the types of games we come and pull out and win. I know as a personal fan and someone that just understands the sport, I don't know if that bye is healthy for us, but it'll get you healthier. There's a lot of number 1 seeds that, they get to that divisional game and they shit the bed. So I think it's important we just keep the momentum. Make sure like the linebackers get healthy, our edge, and just put something together on defense, because on offense we're gonna still be smoking.
And I think I'm with you on that too. I always felt like the bye was always like a gift and a curse, because it helps you relax, especially when the team is beat up as the Lions are. Help you maybe potentially get some guys back. But when you're going against these wild card teams who've been playing playoffs for literally like the last 7 weeks, it's a real toss up as well. What do you think about there's rumors about, Ben Johnson. He might become a coach somewhere. It might be here, it might be somewhere else. Do you think that what Dan Campbell has built is, no matter if it's Ben Johnson, somebody else, it could just be somebody interchanged, and just building what his culture is there? Or do you think it'll be a blow to you guys if you did lose Ben Johnson to some other team?
I would say it. No, because I believe Dan's got something going over there like Mike Tomlin does, where it's like it's his personality that's going to bring the best out of those players. And I don't think Ben Johnson wants to be a head coach. I think he is really good at what he's doing. They're paying him really well, and to take on a team that you would have to rebuild from scratch, like everybody don't got that type of tick or like that little bit of offness to their personality that they can come in and change shit like Jim Harbaugh does. I don't even know what Ben Johnson's voice sounds like. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know what it sounded like till yesterday when they had a clip of him talking about Caleb Williams. I was like, oh, that's what he sounds like.
Yeah, I think he rides it out for probably another year, and then he tries it. He tries it somewhere, but it's something special going on downtown Detroit. And if I was personally him, and I'm having so much success at this one thing that I do well, sometimes that level up is a level down. Like look how many superstar coordinators have been offered head coach jobs, and then 2-3 years later they fired. Yeah, like you gotta think about where Chip Kelly is at.
You gotta think about when Matt Nagy is.
Yeah, but Chip Kelly being this superstar, offensive mind, bro. He went from being a head coach to now he's Ohio State's offensive coordinator. That's a slide backwards.
And a terrible one at that. And I just want to pivot to hip hop real quick. We got a couple more minutes with you. We're gonna bring the homie Larry Legend on in about 7 minutes. But I want to talk about hip hop real quick, man. And this has been a pretty eventful year for the genre. Of course, everything that Kendrick's been doing, the everything Drake's been doing. Big year for the ladies as well. What, if anything, stood out to you? I feel like we're like guys where we like where the game used to be, but we see the transition that's coming. Did you think this is a good year for the sport of hip hop?
Yeah, absolutely. I think where people are listening from inside of their conscious, they're choosing, different experiences. Like I don't know nobody that listens to Squabble Up and is just not instantly entertained and mood changed. People can say what they want, but you listen to Doechie's album and you understand the hype, like right off the rip. You know what I mean? Like the things that are leading the charge now tend to be from a place of like a little bit more concentrated creativity. Mm-hmm. And, like people aren't letting the echo chamber or social media decide what's hot no more. Like people going to stand up and be like, nah, that's not even it. It's this. And then that debate creates more people being discovered. And, I think, we definitely came from a dark period and we're going into a lighter one. You know what I mean? That whole battle proved that. And I'm excited. And just to see the reaction from that GNX album and how people feel about it, it gives me hope that like, okay, rap's gonna be fun again. It ain't just gonna be one-sided. Ain't nobody in the club no more, so there ain't no reason to make no club bangers.
That's a good point. And the first time I heard Squabble Up out was actually at the Lions Bears game. Shout out to the Ford Field DJ. Every time I come to Lions game, he be going crazy. Like I don't know who the DJ is, but he was playing the whole GNX album up there.
And then when I think about that song and the sonics of it, if you close your eyes, it feels real futuristic, even though it's sampling a song from 1985. But in 1985, they were thinking different. People were trying to push the envelope and create a like freestyle. The whole genre of freestyle it's futuristic, and it's, you know, they boil it down to being like Puerto Rican hip hop and like, you know, this essence of like Planet Rock and all of that shit. But Planet Rock, Kraftwerk, all of that stuff, they were imagining things differently. So just to even get that as a sample is refreshing.
Definitely, man. Last thing for you, man. It's the end of the year. We've been asking everybody about the grievances, things that annoyed you in 2024 that you want to come to an end in 2025. It ain't got to be sports related. It ain't got to be music. It could be something where I hate bad customer service, or why we charging. You know, there's a lot of people doing now. A lot of burger spots are charging without French fries. That's something that really annoyed me as well.
Yeah, fuck that. But I think my biggest pet peeve of the year is Apple services. I don't know what the fuck they got going on over there. Them niggas just hit me for $39 and I don't even know what it was for. God, and it's like, what anything have I done that's just $39? and why do you got something to do with it? Or why you ain't take it out the day of? Why the fuck you gonna wait till I'm trying to hold on to this little couple $100 to rob me? So that, and I hate the word body of work.
I'm with you on that.
like shut that shit the fuck up. I know also this will get deeper. I think I'm the only one that's like the whistleblower here, is how streams equate to sales. And then somebody being like, first week numbers. Like, how the fuck did you even, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
niggas used to have to go to the store to buy it. That was a first week number. Like Snoop Doggy Style. Yeah, that's different. People listen to music when they get a chance to now. So it's like that being a measurable scale it's almost like propaganda. You know what I mean? Like they can move the needle however they want because the number of streams that count as a sale isn't the same on every single platform. So I'm tired of niggas that ain't never sold nothing talking about sales. So get them out of here too.
Everybody on Twitter, you swear everybody on Twitter act like they do something else. It's wildly annoying, man. But
and it's too many lists for shit, and it's too much what ifs or who you got. I don't never want to see nigga a Kobe lineup versus you know what I'm saying? And the picture underneath says, "Who do y'all got?" Like, what the fuck you mean? Get Wilt Chamberlain the fuck out of here, dog. Like,
even Shaq be posting. I'm like, Shaq.
I figured it out though. It's like an evil empire between the 24-hour news cycle is whooping everybody's ass.
Yeah, because
you can't just not. You just can't not. You know what I'm saying? Somebody come up with a meme every hour because they got to keep their engagement up. So and fuck engagement. Like, unless you about to get married, shut the fuck up.
Definitely, man. We're gonna have you back on in a couple weeks when the playoff starts. We're gonna get into the Lions stuff, man. Anything you want to promote before we get you about it?
Shit. Next year gonna be different, bro. Me and Mikey popping out with the extended clip. So, just everybody get ready for that. It's coming out on Fool's Gold. Like, we just turned it in. Like, vinyl getting pressed. We just ain't no surprise album. We ain't coming with the surprise. We about to let y'all know. So
real rollouts are back. Definitely looking forward to that, man. Chuck, man, we gonna holler at you in a couple weeks, bro.
All right. Thank y'all for having me. Yep.
You already know. Peace. We're gonna bring our last guest, but definitely not least of the special today. We've got our culture correspondent, the homie Larry Legend, man. Of course, for Respected Culture, we gonna the year ending edition, man. Of course, you can follow Lero at Larry is Legend on Twitter and at Larry's Legend 1 on Instagram. Lero, how you feeling, brother? You get him? Yeah, we can't. I think your mic is some on the audio. We can't hear you.
Yeah. We can't find you because you don't work here, but we can't hear you.
Nah, still ain't on. We gonna bring him right back in a second. But yeah, man. My grievances, I got some grievances too. We gonna get into at the
Can I pop one off real quick?
Go ahead.
We gotta bring back shame. Because a lot of you niggas should be ashamed of yourself. Like, it's a lot of people out here who do things in public, who do things for the attention of other people, who condone certain shit, and we need to stop it. Like, we need to have boundaries. Everybody don't need to be advocated for. Everybody don't need to have their thoughts and views heard. I know that's an unpopular opinion, especially these days, but no, we need to bring back shame, because some people need to be so afraid of the reaction of what we gonna say that they don't open their mouth and say the dumb shit that they're thinking about. Keep it to yourself. Bring back shame.
Yeah. Bring back shame. We got Laro back finally. The audio's working. Laro, how you feeling, brother? Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
I'm good, man. You know, just a little technical difficulties. We in the dungeon at the culture cellar. We in the cellar right now.
In the cellar. Yeah. I see y'all been working, man. I seen on the Instagram. Got some stuff coming.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm like, well, I got to do my thing real quick, and then we're going to get right back to editing and getting this thing together so we can put it out.
Definitely. I'm on the same way, man. Y'all be getting content every week during my 2-week sabbatical, because I'm spending the rest of the night editing. There's going to be at least a video on YouTube every day. So y'all, you know, like Chuck was talking about 24-hour news. So y'all ain't finna forget about me while I'm sitting here getting drunk and watching holiday movies over the next couple of days. So we got stuff dropping continuously, man. But Laro, man, we're going to get into a whole bunch of stuff. But I want to get your opinion on this Travis Hunter situation. Travis Hunter just won the Heisman last week, which I feel like has gone under the radar, which is nuts. That should be the conversation here, that he's a generational player who won the Heisman. But no, we're up here talking about his girlfriend because of all the stuff that's been going on. She ain't making no better with that long 7-minute TikTok video she put out. What's your thoughts on everything that's been going on with that? The blowback from, older people, people on Twitter, and just Travis' reaction to it as well.
What was his reaction before I give my
Well, he was on there. He was on his stream playing video games, getting mad. Talking about, y'all ain't even got a girl. Don't worry about your girl.
Yeah, basically saying, leave me alone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I'm gonna just say this is a classic case of the same thing we've seen before. Many of guys even the older people who's upset about the girl, like we've all seen some athlete with a woman he shouldn't be with, and he finds out later on in life he shouldn't be with her. I don't know that lady. I don't really know too much about her. I saw her tattoo on her finger, and it was a money sign on her ring finger. So that's a clear-cut sign of what you did. But I saw a picture of him when he was younger, and he looked like a guy who would, go for the first girl who looked decent for him. So I mean, I can't judge him for none of the things going on. He's gonna make a lot of money eventually at one point, and this will be behind him. He might have to split some with her. Hopefully, he don't knock her up. But we just watch Zion do all this same type of stuff. So it's just like the kids just don't learn, man. I always talk about that phone being called a smartphone, but it ain't nobody smart who use it. It don't make no sense. Like, we got all this information at our fingertips, and we still fall in we doing the same shit that the niggas did before us. And it's like, when are we gonna save ourselves? So, let Travis, handle that. I hope he don't marry her. I hope maybe it's a joke, I hope it's a joke, kind of like I hope that Joe Smith stuff was a joke, but still don't know if that was a joke.
We still don't know if that was a joke, right?
Hey, man, that's all I got to say about Travis. I want to pray for him a little bit, but he gonna learn his lesson when he's 25 or something. What he's 22?
He's 22. Yeah, he a kid, man.
27, he gonna learn. When his back hurt one day for no reason, he gonna learn it. That
Dante,
bitch back.
Exactly, Dante. What's your take on it if you have one?
This is just further proof of what I always say, bro. We know way too much about these people. I don't give a damn who his girlfriend is, bro. I care about Travis Hunter as a football player. Like, people, giving their 2 cents. We saw Bow Wow comments he made, which, as a former team star, that's one person who actually, it makes sense that he said something, but he was talking about shit that wasn't true. It was from a wrong website or whatever. And so it's like, bro, y'all are way too invested in these people's personal lives. And like, a lot of people do it, I think, out of envy, because you got a lot of shorties hating on shorty. They want to be her. They want to be sitting where she's sitting. So that's why they're saying all of this. But again, to Larry's point, you gotta let these kids live and learn. They got a lot of money. They gonna make mistakes. I'm at the point now with like certain shit that athletes do. I'm not throwing up no red flags, because listen, you've seen enough people lose their money. You've seen enough people with the baby mamas and all that other shit. So I mean, bro, you know what this is. If that's the life you want to lead, so be it. And hopefully it work out for him. You feel me? Because we saying all this, and just on the other side playing devil's advocate, we don't know shorty. I didn't know who the fuck she was until 2 weeks ago. And apparently she been with him since he was at Jackson State. So
I'm with
good
you.
luck to him.
A lot of this stuff is like headlines I only comment on because I have a podcast and shit. Like I don't be caring about 95% of this stuff. I'm just upset that the conversation is Travis was incredible, and he won Heisman Trophy. That's what I'm upset about. Like I don't care about what his girlfriend is. When you're a 22-year-old, whether you're an athlete or not, you ain't trying to hit with niggas older than you were saying. Let's just be real.
Yeah.
Like and I feel like a lot of the emotion is some niggas who mad they not Trav. You got some women who mad they not Trav girl. This is overall stupid. I just hope that he's got a good head on the shoulders, and he might just have to learn. Who knows? She might not be nothing like people would describe her to be. I don't know this young woman. She might be a nice person. I don't know. I just hope that we can get back talk about the football, man. He's gonna be a top 5 draft pick in the NFL draft coming up. He's gonna be great. Also, got to give love to Dion and just the way he's been there. Travis Hunter had one of the best Heisman speeches ever. Like it was a beautiful speech thanking Coach Prime. You can tell he's got a real brother type relationship with Shador, and even bringing a spotlight on his actual father who wasn't able to be there, and seeing his reaction, I thought was dope. But I just wanted to get the conversation because we have to make content. Like, but
100%, yeah.
Overall, I don't care. I just hope Travis stays away from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't want my boy to go over there. Stay away from them niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want, man. But let's go on to end of year top moments in the culture. We're coming down to the end of the year with I feel like there's been a lot of big storylines. Obviously, Drake and Kendrick's probably the biggest storyline of the year. We had an election this year. We've had big movies, big situations. Diddy went to jail. Jay-Z allegations, which Jay has really responded pretty well to, in my opinion. It's funny. I've seen somebody, when you're in the entertainment industry, you can tell who wrote what. JPR did not write any of them PR statements, like, at all. That was Jay on his word app, like, nah, fuck that nigga. But, Lara, what's some of the biggest moments to you this year that will kind of stand out to you as top moments in the culture?
I think the Kendrick moment is the biggest moment of the year to me, because if it was more about hip hop coming back in the forefront, meaningful music, I would say. I think even with these interviews that we've been seeing with like Lil Baby and him, kind of like, that's another side of hip hop or whatever, that weirdness. I think it's him pushing, him saying he didn't want the culture to be in the hands of people like academics and what's the other guy named? The guy, Adam.
Adam 22. Adam 22. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was referencing those kind of people, just having the game, going through those people, Vlad and all of those things. And these are like the media guys. I like some of the things that came from the Kendrick shit. More than just the music, it was almost like hip hop taking ourselves back a little bit. And I think that's important for the culture. Like, that's the biggest thing, the culture for me, other than, you spoke on a lot. The Diddy thing is crazy. Nigga, did y'all know Lunchables was bad for you?
I had no idea about that. Lunchables,
at this point, I think I'm not surprised. Anything processed is bad for you at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, these are the things that happened in 2024. We lost a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Culturally, I think that's a big thing too, because like we talked about earlier this year, or this season, about how we lost some people who were legends, and are we creating any new ones right now? And are we opening the door for people to become legends and stuff? We got even like Chris Brown just have this big show in Africa, I think 2 back-to-back
massive show. Proof that the internet is not a real place.
And they don't talk about that, like the world still, the world has kind of like separated the art from the artist, at least for him. To where he can go other countries and sell out and stuff like that. And America, the one still beating him.
I mean, he had a sold out arena tour last summer.
He did here, but I just mean when it comes to like the endorsements or him being put in the place that he should be based on his art, we've hindered that. But I just feel like him being over there and showcasing that was a good thing for the culture as well, just to see is bigger than sometimes us. You know what I'm saying? America might we the creators of stuff, but it don't mean we carry it all the time. Like you know how Germany is always carry hip hop and shit like that. Just we carry our cultures are carried all over the world. So we just gotta, you know, appreciate who we got. I feel like appreciate who we have, use what we have. You know, these legends ain't here longer enough. And you know, we lost Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? We lost a lot of people. So it was just like the culture has to get to the point where we can create a space for new legends, create time. Like I listened to Chuck before he came on and some of the stuff he was saying about just in the music industry of creating that space to, you know, basically to create a classic again, to create another legendary artist. Like we got to get back to making music matter again. I feel like Kendrick did that though, 100%.
And Kendrick's a great, you know, kind of, you know, we talking about appreciate legends. When we're watching right now, I actually think his man, Here to Jay, he tweeted the same thing. Like, you got to appreciate what Kendrick's doing right now because even with his run, I know I sound like a stan, and it's fine. I don't care. It's Kenny and Hov for me, brother. That's what up. And Super Future, them my niggas right there. But what you're watching right now, you usually see a run like this with somebody first coming to the game. This is like 15 years in. Like this is something where you can argue that damn era he sold more. He was a higher selling artist then, but he's never been bigger than what he is now. Like you got little kids rapping out like us. It's crazy. I was on a podcast last night. Shout out to the 108. I was on their year-end pod, and one of the guys was talking about, you know, his school. They had the kids at church that said not like us. He's like, I don't know, kids should be having shirts like that, but you know, you just see like the influence of what he's been doing. Appreciate this run right now. And like, I'm not a J. Cole fan anymore, but I think him selling out the Garden this week and what he's doing, that's clear sign that he's got fans still. And Chris Brown, legend. Chris Brown album came out 20 years ago, bro. Like, you know, Chris is somebody, not granted, Chris gets in his own way. So I'm not going to sit up and act like people just, you know, saying things about Chris to be saying about him, but he doesn't get the appreciation either. And you should appreciate at least the music side of what he's doing. Usher has been on tour for like 3 years now, it feels like. But I do think as a culture, we don't need to be accepting of some of the new people. That's why I love what Doechie's doing so much. Like, Lero, you've been a big, you know, person on talking about her album. She could be one of them new legends.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think she's super dope. She got everything that you need as far as the showmanship. She knows how to say her words. She knows how to rap her songs. She has performance. Her levels on performing is crazy. I've been watching all of that. I still ain't watched Tiny Desk because I just been letting it settle down before I get into it. Like, I want people to stop talking about it so I can watch it and have my own view of it. But man, yeah, she's amazing. She definitely somebody who I feel like could be another legend. I mean, Doja Cat is on her way to being one of those as well.
Yeah, Doja.
Man. We didn't talk about this because I'm sorry, we wrapping up, but the best thing of the year, like one of the best people who had one of the best years this year, especially for the culture, Glorilla, man.
Yeah, Glow's been killing.
Glow's been going crazy.
Glow's been killing, bro. I'm a big fan of Glorilla. First of all, I just love somebody who is in their personality and they just who they are. Even though I thought the NBA interviewing her and telling her to pronounce names was a little cringeworthy. Like, I don't like how they do her and her homeboy from the Panthers. What's his name? Leggett. Yeah, like, oh, he's country voice. Like, yeah, but they're like, hey, Glow, I can picture a little white girl walking on the glow. Can you say these names for us? Like, that don't sit well with me. Right. But I just love everything Glow is doing and just the poster she has on the fans, man. And you saw it when she came out to the TD show last week. You know, she set it up out there. So she's definitely been awesome. And I think Snoop said it where he's like, you know, TDE is great because they actually have artist development, which is just not a thing. Like, Doechie's been on Top Dog like 3-4 years at this point. So it's not like she just popped out of nowhere. But now it's just her time, man. And I actually hope the rumor of her open up for Kendrick and SZA is true. I would love to see her on those tour stops. They asked about on Breakfast Club, and she kind of gave I can't say it, but yeah, I'm probably gonna be on there for a couple stops, man. But let's move on to the final topic, man. I was talking about earlier. We've been asking people their grievances for 2024? You know, what's some things that you don't want to see in 2025, things that may annoy you in this year? It ain't got to be sports related. It could be anything. It could be like, oh, I don't like the way, you know, niggas get on the Dan Ryan and think this is Fast and Furious 12. Like, it could be anything like that.
I mean, one of those Dan Ryan things, I hate when people drive the shoulder. If you late, you fucking late. I mean, you late. You're not finna cut in front of me and fuck up my shit. So that's one thing I definitely have a grievance with. But I mean, you know, I ain't stopping people. Some people might have an emergency. One of my other grievances is a big grievance that we all had. I'm really disgusted in Diddy. Diddy is actually a bad boy. Really didn't need to find this out like this. Horrible year for him. I already said earlier, you know, we need to start gatekeeping ourselves. I might not have said it, but I was alluding to it, that I feel like with the little baby stuff and him saying it's another side of hip hop that he don't participate in, we should start gatekeeping our whole culture from some of ourselves. Like, some people just doesn't need to be, let him fizzle out. When hip hop is not pop music no more, let him fizzle out with those people who make that kind of music. And the real hip hop shit that's going to be going on forever is going to continue to go on. And the last thing, I really, really want to leave 20 versus ones in this year. I don't want to see it no more, man. I'm sick of it. Every day I get on Facebook, it's on there. It's like, man, this is why I don't like being on Facebook. Like, I see it on there more than anything. Hate 20 versus 1. Hate seeing Woody. Hate seeing Charleston White. I don't care. Like,
I still want to know what Charleston White is famous for. Like,
berating niggas.
And it's nuts. Like, Charleston White's talking about this. I don't care about that nigga, man.
I will say Charleston got a little bit of truthfulness in his stuff. I understand some of his shit, but I don't watch or keep up with any internet people at all. Like, I still live in a world where YouTube and the internet is not real celebrities and fame and talent like that. It's just like another thing. Even though I'm a part of that in a way, I still don't feel like I still feel funny about calling myself a comedian, and I ain't never did stand up. So I'm still not going for the internet people need to matter thing. Like, they don't.
And they pushing it heavy. G, I don't know if you saw. I think it was Vanity Fair, and they was like the new Hollywood, and it was just a whole bunch of people from Instagram.
Whole bunch of influencer niggas from Instagram.
Yeah, it was a whole bunch of influencer niggas from Instagram, and it's like, don't get me wrong, they've developed the talent and, you know, put their work into the reels, but it's not the same as like Hollywood. It's like it was different. It was supposed to be levels to it, and we try to sit here and muddy the waters and act like everybody can do everything, and no, you can't, and you shouldn't be able to, and that's okay.
And that brings back to one of your grievances, Dante. Bring back Shane.
Yeah, bro.
Bring it back. But there's some guys out there who I do think are doing it right. Like Mr. Beast, I think is doing pretty well with the way he spreads his money and tries to help other people. Right. And Kev on Stage, I think he doing it right too, because
I'm a big Kev on Stage fan, man. Shout out to Kev on Stage.
The way he becoming the new Tyler Perry, the way he got studios, he's on his way off the internet. So I do see some people using it the right way, but like, I don't need to see every motherfucking body.
But it's like we naming like 4-5 people. Like, I love Drewski, and Drewski hits 100%. I love Lou Young is one of the most underrated funny. I love Lou Young, bro. Like, and I love the love he gets from the NFL community because he used to play for the Panthers. So he's one of the guys I feel like is doing it right too. But a lot of these niggas, man, like you said, Lero, you and Reese always said about stop rapping, stop making content, okay?
Stop the content. That might be my new shit. Stop content.
Yeah, stop content, bro. Everything ain't gotta be content, nigga. Like, I don't want to be like, hey, me and my friends, we think we're funny. Let's do a podcast. No, like it's work to this, bro. Like, somebody told me, I'm not gonna say who it is. Somebody was like, well, you know, you just put up a microphone, nigga. I put in work, bro. Like, I be having the show scheduled. I'm looking up stats. I got the whole plan. Yeah, Dante, you can look at the rundown. Like, it be real detailed, bro.
Yeah, no, we don't play them type of games.
Yeah.
Y'all hard. Y'all be doing y'all thing. Don't let nobody shit on your shit, man. Like, it take a lot of work to do this. You schedule on every week. You always hit me up with their schedules. Whoever that nigga is, I hope he watching. This nigga be sending out the list of what's going on. He hitting you every week. If we can't do it, we can't do it. And it's usually because he got to go to London to the Bears game. Like, man, shout out to my boy. This is the CEO right here. I know he ain't changed. He didn't change his name, but he's right there, man.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you.
Sir.
Anything you want to plug, man? That before we get you up out of here.
I'm gonna just say, Coachella, man, we got our new, we doing our wrap up. It's supposed to be dropping within the next week because we want it to be out before the 1st. So that's what I'm over here doing right now, getting this thing together, just to introduce ourselves and give a little bit of our personality and make people laugh and do the same kind of thing you just did here, but just different. You feel me?
Definitely, man. Definitely. Definitely looking forward to that, man. We gonna holler at you at the beginning of the year. If you not tuned, man, follow Larry's Legend on Twitter at Larry's Legend 1 on Instagram, and of course follow the Culture Seller as well. Get in tune with everything they're doing over there, brother. You enjoy your holidays, man. We gonna holler at you after the New Year, G.
Yes, sir. Y'all be easy.
Yes, sir. We gonna take a quick 1 minute break, man, and then me and Dante gonna close it out. We gonna, go through our grievances for 2024. And if you missed the grievances, I'm going to do a grievance compilation video. We're going to take everybody's grievances from today and we're going to put it in one. And then we're going to break down week 16 in the NFL. Sorry, we don't have college football picks for y'all because I thought we were going to have more informed people on here, but Mikey and Courtney had things to deal with. And then, so me and Dante don't want to send y'all off with our picks. So we're not going to pick anything from college football. But on the other side of the break, we're going to get into our grievances and week 16 picks in the NFL. We'll be right back.
So cool. Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice tray, go for tray, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on display, haters old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. If you hear a dog in the background, he said, "My dog, him and the mailman, dog. It's like Biggie and Tupac, bro. I don't know what to tell you. Like, nigga, he's not going anywhere. He's delivering the mail. Shut your mouth."
They're like Peter Griffin and the chicken.
Right, exactly. That's my dog in the mail, man. Like, and he be sitting up on the couch, like he's Simba. Like, he be like looking like down the street to see if anybody gonna be coming. I'm like, I appreciate it, but you gotta calm down sometimes. But it's time for our 2004 grievances. I've got an actual list. Dante, did you want to go first? Did you have any more, or do you want me to go?
I got a couple real quick that I do want to get off the chest. We got to bring back reading comprehension. Like this is one of the scary things that it's actually a real problem in our country. A lot of people don't know this, but a lot of adults cannot fucking read. I'm not joking when I say that. I know we joke a lot on this show, but this is a fact. A lot of people can't read, and if you can't read, then it's going to be tough for you to comprehend certain things, and that's dangerous because that's why you've seen so much misinformation get spread. So many people taking lies and just running with them. It's because people don't actually stop and read things and break it down so they can understand it. So I think we got to bring back reading comprehension. Slow down a little bit. We talk about the 24-hour news cycle all the time, but I think that's really become one of the worst things about our society. The fact that stories drop and then in 4 or 5 hours, nobody cares because we got a new story that we focused on. And then that lie just keeps floating around out there. So we got to bring back reading comprehension, man, because it's getting scary out here. Like it's been scary, but I think now we at a point now with the people that are in power, and I know this ain't about sports, but fuck it, shit is going left, like and not in a good way. And so, like, you gotta really, really lock in, bro. So the people around you, I don't know what. I'm not saying you got to start teaching people how to read, but goddamn it, you got to do something because I think this is just going too far, and we at a very dangerous point right now. So that's one of my grievances. I'm gonna let Scott go as I gather my thoughts for the rest of them, but that's one I got, bro. We got to bring back reading comprehension because this shit is crazy out here.
I got a couple on here. One I'm gonna start with. Drake fans who won't take the L. Shut your mouth and just take the L. We have people who won't give it up. And I actually think that some of them probably are more hell-bent on not giving up than actual Drake is himself. That's something we need to stop. Look, man, it hurts when your favorite rapper takes an L. I know. I'm a Jay-Z fan. I will tell you to this day that I believe the Takeover and Super Ugly are the better disses in the beef with Nas. But it doesn't matter what I think because the general consensus is that Nas won the beef. I mean, 23 years later, you tell us, oh, he got ethered. That should tell you everything about it. So you got to accept it that he lost and move on. He's gonna bounce back. J. Cole just sold out Madison Square Garden and he went out like a sucker in the beef. Drake will be fine. He just need to take a little bit of time and he'll be back selling records, doing this thing. So I'm gonna give my first one to Drake fans who won't take the L. Number 2, I'm going to take this one on, people who don't understand how much people who don't understand just because I'm on Twitter or I'm on Instagram, that means that I want to talk. When I say I'm busy, I didn't say what I was busy with. That doesn't mean I want to come talk to you. That just means I'm having my me time right now and I'm doing my thing, getting my jokes off on Twitter, getting memes, looking at reels, looking at TikToks. That does not mean I want to talk. Respect the D&D. If you go through, you know what it says, go through the notification or call anyway, just because somebody's on D&D. If you do that, you are an asshole. Respect my privacy as a human being. That's what I'm gonna do. That's my second grievance. People who don't respect privacy. I got 2 more, then we're gonna go right back to Dante. Ryan Poles. I have a problem with Ryan Poles for everything that he talked this year about. This is going to be such a hard team to make, and the culture here is amazing. This is going to be, I haven't seen a group of guys just mesh well together. Going up to the podium up at the combine, talking like, he's Tony Soprano. He goes up there at the draft and, oh, we're having such a great draft. Let's draft a punter in a 4th round. You know what I'm saying? Like, just the arrogance. And now, months later, you can't even sit on the podium and talk without looking like you got punched in the chest. So my grievance is with Ryan Poles. My last grievance is actually with me. My grievance is with myself for believing the things that Ryan Poles said. Like I said on 79th and Hallis, you can go back and play that I'm Not Going to Hold You Bears preview special that we shot at Pillars, me, Joe, Mikey, and Bang. It's like a cold freezing takes recap. There's so many bad takes in there that we were saying, and months later, it just looks crazy. So I blame myself for falling for the hype and thinking that this was going to be different. And at this point, I just got to wait and see. It does not matter who they hire within the next couple weeks. It could be Ben Johnson, who is number 1 on my list. I'm not going to get excited till I see it on the field now. I don't care who they draft. I don't care how many people they sign in free agency. I don't care how many camp look. I don't care how actual training camp or preseason look. I'm not going to know how this team is to probably about a year from now. When we in December, close to the end of the year. And I'm just going to protect my heart and do that. I think a lot of Bears fans are going to do that as well, man. So I'm trying to think if I got one more grievance. Kind of like what I said with when Goff was on him, man. Mind your business, people. Mind your business about what you're doing. Shutting up is free. It will save you a lot of pain if you just go out there and just mind your business, man. Dante, what's your last couple? If you had a couple.
Yeah, I got two. One, and this kind of goes to what we talked about with people getting up on the plane and things like that. Respect shared spaces. You are not at home. You are in a space with a bunch of strangers who are all paying the same thing you paying to occupy that space. Maybe you paid a couple dollars extra, but at the end of the day, it is a shared space. So you don't get a personal butler, none of that other shit. I get so sick of people who complain about the airport. It's like, bro, if you want to do all that, go fly private. But you're going to have to spend a lot more money and you can't afford that. So sit your ass down and relax. And we're going to get on this plane together and we're going to do this. So respect shared spaces. And number 2, this one is something that's been happening for years, bro. So it's not even a 2024 grievance for me. This is just a grievance I have with our society as a whole. People don't owe you shit. And you can't take that personal. Like, you have a lot of people who are fighting to have shit that they do in private or just things that they like be accepted by the masses. And that's not always going to happen. That's not how the world works. And it's never been how the world works. And it's scary that we get to a point where you got people who want things to be one way and everybody think the same way. And if you do that, that kills creativity. And it just makes for a really, really shitty society. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, and this might be a personal thing with taking things, because I do take things personal, very personal, but people don't owe you shit. So go out here, do what you got to do. As long as you're in the right space, I think the best thing you could do is just move forward like that and keep going. And things usually typically work out in your favor. And that's why we've been having a lot of success here at the network, because it's really just about how you move. And at the end of the day, people don't owe you shit. If they don't react the way you wanted them to react, keep moving. Cultivate that space, and those people that see what you do, love what you do, and they're going to pour into you, and you're going to grow from that. But just expecting things from people, you just can't do it, because they don't owe you shit. They don't.
Orlando had a great one. Bring back taking your L's of silence. Too many of y'all be sharing too much information on social media, bro. Like, enough of that. And I'll say this, you know what I really, really hate? Oh my God, passive aggressive people, bro. You are an adult. Use your words. Like, it drives me up a wall. So I want people who are passive aggressive to work on that in 2025. Use your words as a tax-paying American adult. Use your words, people. That's what I want. And also, my last one, to everybody out there who voted for Trump, and I see a couple of y'all last couple weeks talking about, oh, I didn't think he's going to do this. You deserve what's coming in the next 4 years. Not everybody, unfortunately, and not everybody don't. But you deserve what's coming next 4 years. You voted that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear nothing whatsoever, man. So that closes the 2024 grievances. We're gonna wrap this show up with our Week 16 picks, man. And since the only two of us, we're gonna do a little in-depth breakdowns on a couple of these games, man. We're gonna start off with, we got 2 Saturday games. And by the way, it's going to be an amazing day of football this Saturday. If you're watching this now, tomorrow. If you're watching this clip tomorrow, it's today of football. You've got a couple NFL, a couple college football playoff games. You got 2 NFL games. The first one, Chiefs and Texans in Arrowhead. Patrick Mahomes, he was diagnosed with a high ankle sprain after leaving last week's game against Cleveland early, but he's been full practice all week. Do you have any injury concerns for Pat playing these last 3 games before the playoffs?
No, I don't. As long as no major structural damage, I think Pat will be okay. He'll tape it up, take some pain meds. He seems like he's one of those quarterbacks who still has that old school mentality where he's going to grit it out and he's going to go play. So, I mean, with that, I think the Chiefs will do enough to try to keep him as healthy and as upright as they can. So, I think at the end of the day, they'll be fine. And most importantly, Pat will be fine. So I'm not really worried about it. Like, again, with all things negative concerning the Chiefs, I got to see it happen before I sit here and, say, yeah, they cooked.
I'm with you. I have no concerns whatsoever. I didn't have any concerns when I seen them get hurt. There's 2 people in the history of sports, when I see them down on the floor, that I'm not like, it's Patrick Mahomes and LeBron James. Both of them niggas heal like Wolverine. Like, this is not the first time he's dealt with it. I think he dealt with it last year. Was it last year or the year before? When he had the high ankle sprain. I think it was last year. It was last year.
Yeah, it was 2 Super Bowls.
It was 2 Super Bowls against Philly. Yeah, you're right. It was 2 years ago against Philly when they're in the Super Bowl. And he dealt with it there. And, man, they drinking blood over there in Kansas City or something. I'm not worried about that at all. This particular game, I'm going with the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs because I'm not impressed by the Texans. I said week 2, when they barely beat the Bears after sacking Caleb Williams into earth's crust 8 times, and Caleb and the offense still had the ball at the end of the game to win, that there's something off with this Houston Texans team, and they're not the same team they were last year. They beat Miami, but I just was not impressed with how the offenses look, not impressed with the play calling by Bobby Slowick, and I'm honestly not impressed with what I'm seeing from CJ. Kind of feels like he's in a little bit of a sophomore slump here, and they've struggled against bad teams. Now you're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs, who are starting to get guys back. Hollywood Brown is coming back. You guys there, Pacheco back. A lot of guys are starting to get back in the form, getting ready for that playoff run. And it's just very hard to beat this team in Arrowhead Stadium. I'm going with the Chiefs. Who you got?
I agree. I got Kansas City, bro. Everything you said about the Texans has been true, and it's something that, and it's why I'm hesitant. And I'm really, laughing at the people who are just quick to shit on Caleb and say, but Jaden is just going to be so much better because y'all did the same thing with CJ and crowned him last year, and then he came back and he's been having the struggles he's been having. So I mean, we got to really stop trying to judge things in a vacuum, and we have to let it play out. So I think it's one of those situations where the Texans will be all right, but CJ has definitely taken a step back this season, and they've had some injuries. But with that being said, I got the Chiefs in this game. I think I'll go Chiefs by 10.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate a point spread right there. The second Saturday game, one of the biggest rivalries in the NFL, Ravens and Steelers, man. This one will be in Baltimore. Steelers won a couple weeks ago at home by 2 points, 18-16. Lamar did not have a good game. The Steelers are coming off a loss at the hands of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Ravens have not had an impressive win all season. I think they'll be primed to do that. I'm going to take the Ravens because it's very, very hard to sweep division teams, especially when your team as good as the Baltimore Ravens is. And I think there's an opportunity for them to get back and have an actual chance to win the NFC North. Like the Steelers have been on top all season, but this is still a very narrow gap. I think it's like a 1-game gap. I think they'd be tied for first place if they win on Saturday. So I'm going with the Ravens. I think you're going to see a great Lamar performance like we've seen all year. And I think the defense finds a way to step up. Russ has struggled the last couple of weeks, but I'm going to go Ravens in this one.
I'm going Steelers, bro. I'm just really sold on all things Mike Tomlin at this point. And he's another guy who just time and time again, whenever you're ready to doubt him, he proves people wrong. And so his teams respond to him as a leader, and that's something that's really rare these days. I know we have the hot shot coordinators and things like that, but outside of Dan Campbell, like it's not too many guys where it's like, okay, that team, we know they're going to respond accordingly because of their leader. But I'm going with the Steelers.
Yeah, definitely. I love Mike Tomlin. Watching him on Hard Knocks has made me an even bigger fan of Mike Tomlin and everything he's doing over there. I would love for him to be the Bears coach. That is one of the things I would have hoped to have, man. This next game, you got the Jets and you got the Rams, man. The Rams have gone from not being in the playoffs to now they are the 4th seed as they are leading the NFC West. The Jets played their best game of the season last week in Jacksonville, but that has been the second storyline coming from the Jets. Number one has been the back and forth between Aaron Rodgers and Ryan Clark. And Ryan Clark, shout out to you, RC. I'm a big RC guy. I love the pivot. I love everything they're doing. I had the pleasure of meeting everybody at the pivot. I didn't get to meet Freddie T. Actually, no, I didn't meet Freddie T. I didn't meet Channing. I met RC and Freddie T. Actually, it's fun in the bathroom at the NFL draft 2 years ago. The Vegas draft. So big fan of them. And he absolutely cooked Aaron Rodgers, which I thought was hilarious. This Jets team is terrible. You got this documentary on Rodgers being a bozo. You've got, him playing bad. You got Woody Johnson saying, oh, he didn't go a trade to get Jerry Jeudy because, he didn't like his fantasy numbers.
It's Madden rating.
That's what it is. Which is like, what are we doing? So that was like the least of the topic with them actually playing last week. But I'm gonna go with the Rams in this one, man. I love what the Rams are doing. They're really starting to play well, and I think they're gonna continue to hold on to their number one spot in the AFC West. I got the Rams with a road win.
Yeah, I agree. McVay really has that team rolling right now. And again, we talk about it all the time. Like, it's not too many teams that, you can bank on them responding to their leader, but the Rams are definitely one of those teams. So I got the Rams. The Jets are a shit show. I'm sure Woody Johnson is going to get rid of Aaron Rodgers one way or another when this season is over.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah.
Yeah, Woody. It's funny because we don't like Aaron Rodgers, but Woody, he's a wild owner, and it's been that way for a while, and it's part of the reason why the Jets have always struggled, because that's just the kind of guy he is. So the struggles will continue on Sunday.
I feel sorry for the Jets, but then also I'm a Bears fan, and Bears and Jets are first cousins. This next game, we got another division rematch: Commanders and Eagles. This time in Landover, Maryland, because it's not in DC. Landover, Maryland. The Eagles won on the road. I'm not on the road, but at home a couple weeks ago. I don't think changes at all. Anything changes at all, man. I think that the Eagles been playing really, really well. They're now tied for the number 1 seed with the. That's how crazy the NFC has been this year. That the Lions can go on an 11-game winning streak, lose one, and now they're in jeopardy of not only just losing number 1 seed, they're in jeopardy of losing their division. Because Minnesota beat the Bears, so that's something that's going to be they're playing for. Saquon is having an MVP caliber year. Jalen went up there with that Triple H Kango had last. He was like, "That's what y'all wanted to see, like my nigga. That's your first really really good passing game of the season. Sit your ass down." So what did Dominique Foxworth say? He benefits from pretty privilege.
But that was hilarious.
Like, shut up, Jalen. But I like the Eagles, and I just don't like how the Commanders have played. You know what's funny? Post Hail Mary, neither team has played well. Second half, Cliff Kingsbury is really showing himself. I know I'm going to sound like a hater here. I ain't really been impressed with Jaden. They should have lost to New Orleans last week. Keep it 100%. I think they're going to lose to the Eagles here. I think the Eagles sweep, and they're going to be able to clinch the division real soon.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to be particularly close. Probably 10 to 14 point Eagles victory.
Next game, man. This is big, man. We've been talking about the last couple weeks how bad Kirk Cousins has been playing. He finally got benched after a terrible effort in Las Vegas on Sunday. Even though they did beat the Raiders, it was not a good performance by Kirk Cousins. He's been benched for Michael Penix Jr. Somebody that everybody when this pick went down, everybody's like, "What the fuck are the fucking Falcons doing?" And to me, it makes the sign of Kirk Cousins look even more stupid. Like, if Kirk Cousins comes out this a made man, regardless, he's gonna get his check. But Michael Penix, I think if there's any team to debut against, it's the New York Giants, and that's it. And it's being home. I don't have much hope for them, but the Giants are full on trying to tank. Right now, they're the number 2 pick. Vegas has number 1. They want to be the number 1 pick to be able to try to get Shedeur. I think they're going to roll over very, very quickly. I'm going to Atlanta with this one. I think that Penix has an average game. I don't think he throws for a touchdown. I think you're going to see a lot of Bijan in this one, but I think he'll be at least somewhat okay for somebody who's just debuting at the end of their rookie season.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Falcons, with them being in the playoff hunt, they need to win out because they have the tiebreaker over the Bucks. But you look a lot smarter now with the way that Kirk Cousins has played over the last 6 weeks. And it's one of those situations where do you see Kirk getting better? Like, where was he going to improve to the point where it's like, all right, it's not time to make this move? And so after the win in Vegas, when all field goals, it's like, okay, let's make this move. I think Michael Penix is in a very good situation because similar to what we said about Caleb, you got really good receivers. I know Kyle Pitts is underachieved, but Mooney has looked great. Darnell Mooney has looked really good in Atlanta. Him and Drake London have been a good 1-2 punch. So with Bijan, Tyler Algier, and a top 10 offensive line, I look for Mike to have a good game. This actually might be one of those games where it sets up a little false hope because he lights up the bum-ass Giants, and they're like, all right, we got our guy. And then, he'll have those typical rookie struggles. But as far as Sunday, I think he gets it done.
The classic rookie, he's our guy game. Always got to love those. The Bears had a lot of those. But next game, Panthers-Cardinals. The Cardinals in the midst of this NFC West, three-way race with them, the Rams and the Seahawks. You don't know what team you're going to get. They're real Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with the Cardinals, but I really feel like the Panthers got brought back down in reality after so many close calls these last couple weeks and even have an opportunity to win some of these games. They went right back looking like the Falcons last week and shut down by a bad Cowboys team. Run back to Bryce Young having some questionable throws. I don't think they win this week. I think the Arizona Cardinals get it done and they're going to stay in this race for the NFC West.
I hate to see, two short kings pit against each other like this. But I'm going to go with the Panthers. I'm going to still go with the Panthers. Like I said, I know they're still not a great team, but I like what I've seen from Bryce Young. And he's, taking everything in stride and just doing the work to be a starter in this league. So I think they get it done.
Next game, the Battle of Ohio, second one of the year, Bengals and Browns. The Bengals are not dead yet with the Denver Broncos lost last night at SoFi Stadium, which they need to ask for losing that game. That opens the door for the Bengals. Now, the Bengals got to go undefeated, and a lot of other things have to happen, but they are mathematically still in this. The Browns have benched Jameis. They have benched Jameis. Who's my man? Dorian something. Like, he's going to be starting this week. So I expect the Bengals to win this one. I won't say easily because that defense is god-awful, but I'm going with the Bengals this one, and they're going to keep their very, very small hopes alive.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals. The Browns are it's funny how teams that have always been a joke, they had their little spurt where we think, oh, they're turning the corner, and then they just back being a joke. I think that's the Browns in a nutshell. So I'm going with the Bengals on this one.
It's a nice game. It's nasty. There's really no explanation for this one. Colts Titans. Will Levis has been benched. It will be Mason Rudolph. The Colts they're not mathematically out, but let's be real, they're out. I'm gonna go Colts in this one. They'll get it home dub.
Real quick, heads or tails?
I'm saying
heads.
Yeah.
It was tails. So I'm gonna go with the Colts.
That's really how you go with these games. Like it doesn't.
Who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
This one don't matter.
Exactly. The who gives a fuck ball. This next game is a big one. Seahawks and Vikings in Seattle. This is the big one. Geno left the Sunday Night Football game with an injury, but he practiced all week. Him and Kenneth Walker will both be playing. Even though Minnesota beat the Bears, I honestly was not impressed with how that offense looked. I wasn't impressed at all. I'm gonna go. This is gonna be I'm gonna go Vikings though. As much as I wasn't impressed, I think the Vikings find a way to win this one. The Seahawks are too hot and cold for me as well. And I think the Vikings are a good enough team to go in there and beat them in Seattle. So I'm going to take Vikings, and they stay in this race with the Bills and the Bears.
I think
the Bears. I mean, with the Bills. I mean, with the Lions. What the fuck am I talking about?
I was like, what race we in? But no. Did you know Geno got 3,700 yards passing?
It doesn't feel like it.
It does not at all because he has 14 picks and 13 interceptions.
That makes sense.
So I think when you say the Vikings are gonna find a way to win, that way is gonna be Geno is gonna give them the ball. That's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna go Vikings. I'm gonna go Vikings by a touchdown.
I forgot to add this one on here, but we know the answer. Bears Lions on Sunday. I will be there in the building, unfortunately. I'm going Lions, man. Like I said, I'm not picking these niggas. They might win a game by these last three. I'm not picking them to. I have nothing for them. I'm going Lions.
Yeah, I picked them to beat Seattle, but I'm going Lions, of course.
Going Lions, man. Another division matchup, Bills Patriots. Now the Bills have already clinched the AFC East, but they are still trying to stay in that race to get the number 1 seed. The Patriots are already probably looking at who's going to be the next GM and next coach. Going Bills. Straight
Buffalo, man. Yeah, the Patriots. I hate to see Mayo have these type of struggles in his first year, but yeah, it's this.
You know what it was when you signed up. You knew what time it was, Mayo. Next one, another who gives a fuck game. Raiders Jaguars. The Raiders want to keep that number 1 pick because they want Shedeur Sanders, and I think that they'll continue to lose, and the Jaguars will win this one. I'm going with the Jaguars.
It's some ugly games on the slate this week.
Yeah, it really is.
I don't have the Raiders are just terrible, bro. It's another brother about to lose his damn job. But yeah, I'm gonna go Jacksonville.
Dolphins, Niners. Dolphins still have a small chance to get in the playoffs. I think they ruined it last week with losing to Houston, but they are mathematically still in. The Niners got brought back down to size last week as well. I don't like either team, but Miami is at home, so I think they'll find a way to beat the Niners.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tua. I agree. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins.
Got 2 more games. We got the Sunday night game, Cowboys and Buccaneers in Dallas. I don't think the Cowboys have won a game at Jerry World this year, and that streak will continue. I love what I'm seeing from Baker. Love what I'm seeing from maybe future Bears head coach Liam Cohen. I love that offense that's building over there. I'm going with the Buccaneers in this one.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield is one of the few Caucasians that has redeemed themselves in my eyes. I think Baker's a really good quarterback. I like Baker Mayfield a lot, like a lot more than I thought I would. So I'm gonna go with the Bucs.
Final game of Week 16, man. Packers and Saints, Monday Night Football in Lambeau Field. Alvin Kamara will not be playing. He has an injury that might be season-ending. You also got their rookie quarterback who they played last week. They put up a fight against the Commanders, but I think the Packers are a better team. And also, it's Lambeau in December on national TV. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we hate to pick them, it's looking like another solid, successful season for those guys in Green Bay. I'm gonna pick the Packers as well.
Definitely, man. And that recaps our Week 16 picks. That recaps 2024 for I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Now, on Monday, I will be recording Week 17 picks for you guys that will be posted on the YouTube on the day of the game. So I'm going to at least have that content for y'all. But as far as full shows, we are done. Shout out to my cousin. He said Cowboys got one win at home. That was a Thanksgiving. You right about that. Shout out my cousin Gary in the chat. Yeah, man, that is the last show of the year. We will be back Friday, January 3rd, as we will get you ready for the last week of the NFL season, get y'all ready for playoffs. And then next week will be the last local hour. After the first week of January, there will be no more local hour, but there will be a local show on Wednesdays for the Patreon. Now, of course, big local news we will still discuss on the main show. We just won't have a whole hour dedicated to on the show. That will be on Patreon on Wednesdays. I will make this announcement again closer to it, man. But we really appreciate y'all, man. We appreciate everybody who watches the show, whether you agree with what we say, whether you disagree with what we say. Thank you, everybody who's put any comments on there, anybody who's ever retweeted, liked, whatever. We appreciate y'all for all y'all support in 2024, and we hope to have y'all support in 2025. Dante, any words before we get up out of here?
Yeah, no, man, like I said in the beginning, thank y'all for all the support. We've been really consistent this year. Y'all have been just as consistent with the support, and we appreciate that. And once again, if you know anybody that's not at home for the holidays, check on your people, man, and make sure they're good.
100%, man. And 7 Night House is not done. We still got 3 games covered. So me and my brother will be holding it down for Soldier Field on Sunday and next Thursday for Thursday night football game. And then the finale in Green Bay. We'll be there as well, man. Thanks to all of our guests who pulled up. We had a very packed show today. Shout out our guy, Jason Goff. Shout out to the homegirl, Shakeia Taylor. Shout out my boy, Blk Tray. And shout out to Chuck English, who is our Detroit Lions playoff correspondent. He'll be joining us every week as long as the Lions are in the playoffs. And of course, our guy Larry Legend, man. So for you can follow Dante at October's on Tay on Twitter. You can follow me at Barchair Scout on all social media platforms. Follow H&B Media at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram. Follow the Barbers Chair Network at Barbers Chair Net on all social media platforms. And of course, subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can, scan the QR code or take you to the link. All different tiers. You subscribe to the Barbers Chair All Access tier, you get 25% off your first order at the Barbers Chair Network shop. That is bcnetshop.com. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. Y'all enjoy your holidays. Y'all enjoy this amazing football weekend. We will holler at y'all in 2 weeks, January 3rd, the new year in 2025. We about it.